This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that. You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, September 12th. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, there's a new plan to ban the sale of most flavored e-cigarettes right now. The Trump administration said yesterday it would ban the sale of the controversial products. Teen use has been on the rise, worrying many health officials. There have been nearly 500 cases of vaping-related respiratory illnesses and at least 6 deaths. Here's what one teen and his mom said happened after a year and a half of vaping.
My lungs were that of a 70-year-old's.
To know that my son's lungs, 18 years old, healthy, an athlete, typical 18-year-old boy, to be laying in a bed and not being able to breathe, and it's every parent's nightmare.
Stephanie, a teen having the lungs of a 70-year-old from a year and a half of vaping, which most of us believed it to be harmless.
Yeah.
Did the president make the right decision here?
Well, I think more needs to be done in this particular area and topic. I think he has done the right thing, but there are other areas in which, like gun control and violence, that need to be addressed too. But that's a whole other story. But to say that 6 people have died, one of them was over 50. She already had serious health conditions, so I think that needs to be looked into. But I think the thing with this is that vaping and flavored vaping is very appealing to younger people because it's flavors like mango, strawberry. It seems very, very exciting to younger children. And the studies that they show, people that vape do go on often to start smoking.
Yikes.
It's kind of like a pathway to that arena. But, you know, I think over 450 people have come forward with lung disease and illness from this. So, yeah, it should have happened and something needs to be done. These are chemicals.
And now I'll pat Donald Trump on the back, President Trump on the back for that. But I look at it in the grand scheme of things, Sam, and you like to say this, as a Band-Aid to a bigger problem. Because now by taking these e-cigarettes off the shelf, what are you doing? You're making people or forcing people to go back to regular cigarettes. What about the people who are already addicted, who and teens in this matter? What about the teens who are already somewhat addicted to nicotine? Now, where are they going to get their fix? They're going to have to go back to cigarettes. So I hope that we put some sort of program in place in these schools to try and keep these kids off of the cigarettes.
I think education is wonderful. I think that's a great idea. More education, because in this arena, Tori,
we didn't know about
it. We still have zero education when it comes to the harm that these e-cigarettes are causing.
Absolutely. I do want to mention something that Shannon Watts, this is the founder of the gun control group Moms Demand Action. This is what she wrote. 100 Americans are shot and killed every day in America. 7 of them are children. I realize the tobacco lobby didn't give your campaign $30 million like the NRA did, but gun violence is also a national crisis.
It is also a national crisis.
So I know I don't want to be all harping on it, but I get it. 6 deaths, and I think the First Lady actually took the helm on this one. I think she saw Barron, this is speculation, seeing Barron around a lot of vaping teenagers made her do something. That's awesome. I'm very happy about that.
But Barron also attends a school.
Right.
And schools are unfortunately, statistically, you look at how many have been likely to be I don't even want to call it, it's a massacre.
Exactly.
So
it's a great point. So I just hope when we think about this, he acted so very quickly on 6 deaths, and that's important. I'm glad he did. But we've had 9,000 deaths this year of gun violence, and I'd like to see some kind of, even a background check go through. So again, that's just not to harp on it.
Right. Chime in though, DBL Nation. We do want to hear from you. Well, a couple who had struggled with infertility is suing right now. The couple conceived a daughter after turning to a fertility clinic for help, but they say their daughter shares only half their DNA. They claim she was given sperm from a man who was not her husband. Watch.
You want to have a child and you can't have one, and then finally you're able to. It was upsetting. It was very confusing.
Wow, can you imagine? I mean, you imagine the heartache and the pain and the time that goes into and the money, of course, fertility, and then you find out that not only is that not half your child, but what happens to your sperm then? Where is your sperm?
Right.
Do you have another child somewhere else?
I mean, that's what it sounds like. I mean, if this happens a lot more than we can ever possibly conceive. And I looked at this very scary study by Dr. Fox. He's a professor of law at the University of San Diego. And he said, this is really scary, I'm going to read his exact words. Fertility centers, there are almost 500 in the US operating free of almost any regulation at all. There's no federal law, no state law, that enforces licensing in the way that they label, diagnose, or handle sperm, eggs, and embryos. So these are very easily avoidable, huge mistakes that ruin people's lives. People go bankrupt over trying to have a child because they feel it's their purpose. They, you know, they want a baby. This is horrendous.
And I'm glad you said that and you read that, Stephanie, because when you're putting all that money in there, there's no room for human error. We're not talking about a football game where a referee makes a bad call. We're talking about people who struggle with fertility, and now they, like you said, they go bankrupt for this. But there's people are saying, well, the attorney is saying, where's Dave's sperm? Dave being the father. He's like, where his sperm? That insemination was supposed to happen that day.
Yeah, here's another thing I just thought of. The parents, I can't believe where's Drew's sperm, all of that, but also she's Asian, they're Caucasian. The kid has got to be so very confused. You don't know who you came from. So I know we're thinking about the parents, but my God, I kind of forgot she's got to be totally.
What's going to happen to the kid?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean.
What's going to happen? I know.
And now that they're divorced, what's going to happen in a custody battle? Who gets the kid?
It's heartbreaking. It really is. I really hope, to Stephanie's point, that they start regulating monitoring and licensing. That is so important. Social media is putting Kobe Bryant on blast after he called out a middle schooler. Here's what happened. He posted this photo of his daughter's basketball team from 2 years ago. He singled out a girl who wasn't in the photo, saying she missed this game for a dance recital. People didn't like that at all. So he edited the caption saying she enjoyed dance more than ball, which is fine. Now she eats, sleeps, and breathes the game. But it all started for Kobe when he posted this picture of the team's win after losing in the past.
Hey, all you PC police out there who want to just hand out participation trophies, can we get that trophy? Can we get that trophy back up, please, on that monitor? Those girls didn't want that trophy. They didn't want a trophy for 4th place because you shouldn't give out a trophy for 4th place. And you know what he said to the girls?
For 4th place.
And you don't have the mama mentality, Tori, and I'm going to work on that with you. Okay, you got a mama mentality, not the mamba mentality. So what he told those girls to do, no, you're not going to throw it away. You're going to take that trophy, you're going to put it somewhere in your room to when you wake up, you walk past it every morning and you realize that's not what you want. Fast forward to the picture of them jumping up in jubilation. You want to know why? Because he said those girls stayed with him and they worked their butts off for 2 years, and now guess what? We can crown them as the champions that they are. Kobe for the win.
I do like it. Yeah, okay, you convinced me.
You know what I'm saying, Tori? Because
well said.
You got to put in the work, Sam.
I was kind of scared.
Believe me, I'm with you. You were a little scared.
I was a bit scared. I was like, what's
I was motivated. I was ready to like jump in the pool again. Way to go, Brandon.
Sweating right now.
Yes, thank you for that. A stunt woman is suing the producers of a hit film after losing her arm in a horrific accident. This is Olivia Jackson, who was injured while filming a motorcycle stunt on the set of Resident Evil. She was a stand-in for actress Mila Jovovich in a high-speed stunt, but the shot went horribly wrong, and she was thrown from her bike after colliding with a mechanical arm holding the camera. She suffered horrific injuries and had to have part of her left arm amputated. She's asking for $2.7 million after she said she only got $33,000 to cover her medical bills.
That's her whole career, those arms.
Everything.
She's insured, I'm sure.
Her career is completely over.
33 grand?
But many people are bringing up, Stephanie, that as a stunt person, you do welcome these risks. You inherit these risks. That is your job.
So it's
not, believe me, by any means am I saying that I am insensitive to everything that she's going through.
It is statistically in the United States one of the highest rated jobs of fatality. So what a 2.5 stunt doubles of every 1,000 will die a year. Yeah. So before this, she was earning the numbers here really annoy me because this was filmed. It was all done in England. So she was getting £20,000 a month average salary for being being a stunt woman.
So that's like
She's married to a
$36,000.
stunt double gentleman. So this is their life. This is their, you know, everything to them. She's 35 years old. She had 17 days in a coma. Her forearm could never be found, so there was no way of reattaching it. So, I mean, I think this is shocking. What upsets me is the insurance here, because this was 3 years ago and it's still not been settled. Wow. It's still not due to go to court until next year. So she's a huge loss of earnings of nothing to do with her fault.
And you know this movie is making millions of dollars. Can't they at least just do what's right?
Good point.
What is the ethical thing to do here?
So, well, she's trying to sue the director, the camera operator, and the movie itself.
Did they put her in harm's way? Maybe they weren't as careful as they should have been.
The camera operator that operated a big arm, so she was speeding through on a motorbike, he said if she hadn't have braked, she wouldn't have hit the arm. So he's disputing it in that way.
He's saying it's her negligence.
He's saying that she braked and that's why she hit it. But I mean, I don't understand that, because what if she's going towards the camera arm, how is she not going to, what is she meant to go around?
I still think a studio and a film, they make millions of dollars, and you got, in my opinion, you got to do the right thing and take care of this woman, in my opinion. But
yeah. 33,000 is not enough, my love.
No, I don't even think that
30,000. She earned that
like
in
one surgery.
She earned that in 2 months anyway.
Right.
And she's lost her arm. I mean,
good.
yes, it's her choice, it's her profession, but it's crazy.
Wow. All right, well, DBL's live. Coming up, co-host Jeff Schroeder and his wife Jordan try out True Sculpt. But will the non-invasive procedure really melt away the fat? And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Would high taxes on sugary treats actually change your mind about eating them? Your comments on that are next.
Hi guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now. But I think we're going to go over here to Tori. Tori, what's up?
Okay, so I have a really interesting question. New Batman, who I've never heard from, so welcome, was talking about the black market and vapes and how and Michael Loveland's chimed in. And I just want to get a feeling, a temperature from our DBL Nation. Are you of the opinion that these are always going to be on the black market, that it's kids or people buying it off the street? Now, I know it's not, because there have been other people. However, I think the consensus, and that's what I'm trying to hear from the public, is that it is.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that it is.
Well, they think people aren't saying that they bought it. They're too guilty to say it.
And you could be right, but I don't know. I think a lot of these are the Juul thing. You know, people are smoking that.
A lot of these are also from on the street. And
and a lot of them are. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of them are synthetic products.
And you're kind of mixing things.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
God. You don't know what you're getting if you're buying it on the street. So,
because in certain states, things are really regulated, right? And you want to be really careful. So I just want to get a temperature if that's what you guys have been hearing.
I hope not, but I have heard that, though. I have heard that.
Is that
I don't know if all of them
media's
are.
heard? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just kind of interested on that. New Batman's looking for some video for me.
I thought when you were saying new Batman, you meant Robert Pattinson.
Can I be honest?
Because he's the new Batman.
Can I be honest?
You're going to say you don't like him, just like everyone else says.
No, I like him. I think he's great.
Okay.
I forgot he was the new Batman.
He kind of still looks like a vampire, though, which I don't love, and I love Twilight.
Leo, Travis.
Oh, no.
Leo's not okay with him.
I will admit, he does look a little like a vampire in the promo image, and I'm not sure why they did that.
Is he pale?
He's pale and a little shiny, a little glittery, which is odd.
No, Batman should be matte.
That's what happens when you're in the sun.
It's Matte-Man.
And don't get me wrong, I love Edward as a vampire, but
no.
I don't want Batman to be a vampire.
Did you hear me? Batman should be Matte Man. Did you guys hear that? Matt.
Oh, Matt.
Just making sure you guys heard me.
Yeah. Yes.
Time to go? Oh, that's nice. Okay, bye.
I heard you.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. If you're trying to lose weight, a new study says taxing sugary snacks might be the solution. Research from the UK's 2016 tax on soda suggests that by placing a 20% tax on sweets like chocolate, cookies, and cakes would not only decrease the sale of these pound-packing treats, it will also lower the amount of calories we consume. So DBL Nation, are you willing to pay a sugar tax to promote weight loss? Take it away, Brandon.
Here we go. Vincent from Facebook says people with smaller budgets will still not be able to afford healthy foods. So This will not stop the obesity epic. Vincent, thank you for writing in, sir. Exactly. I went to a organic food shop here in Denver, and it was $5 for 1 green pepper.
No.
I said, no.
I know.
No.
It's not
And
fair.
I know a lot of people who would look at that and be like, you know what, this is an attack on their budgets and stuff like that. So I don't think this will work.
Yeah, I've been hearing tone deaf is the word I've been hearing a lot about this bill. Pan from YouTube says this would be a wake-up call for many Americans. Sugar is literally killing us, just like vape pens and guns. Pan, you're absolutely right, and I think thank you for writing in. And we're paying for that epidemic with all of our taxes. It goes to Medicaid, and people who are obese have to deal with that, and we're dealing with that. However, the tone deaf thing gets me here because a lot of people can't afford to buy organic peppers or quinoa. It's ramen for the family because it's cheap.
Yeah.
So you're in a food desert, you don't have anywhere to go to get organic food or even healthy food. So don't criminalize someone, maybe make it easier to get better food. That's my point.
Frida from Facebook says, what a waste of lawmakers' time. We need to be focusing on real issues like gun violence and abortion. Who cares what other people eat? What does it matter to you? And thanks for writing in, Frida. I do understand there are some very serious issues that need to be addressed and discussed, but for this in particular, I have to echo what Tori said. Some people don't have access to fresh fruit and vegetables. They do live in like a food desert. That's something I had to learn about because coming from England, it's considerably smaller. So I've never experienced that. And that was a real learning thing for me when I moved here. But I was made aware, mainly by Sam, about some of the critical conditions that people are in, and there's no access to anything.
There's no access.
So,
It's
and also,
heartbreaking.
there's not going to be as many jobs in those areas too. So then if you increase the limited food that they're going to have, I just don't know what some people will do.
Yeah,
You're gonna starve people.
You completely trap them is what you do. And it's awful. Patricia from Facebook says, absolutely no sugar tax. What would be next? A salt tax? Listen, I understand why the sugar tax, at least it worked in the UK, but I do worry about these communities that have no other options. I would love if there is a sugar tax, or we take from maybe taxing marijuana, we start pouring our resources into some of these areas that have no access to healthy food. And to not have those options, and if you do have the options, to make them unaffordable is completely unjust. It's just not okay. So I think if we're savvy with this, maybe we can
community gardens or something. Do something, grow it, you know?
I know. Well, coming up on DBL, but thank you for writing in, DBL Nation. We do love hearing from you. Co-host Jeff Schroeder and his wife Jordan try a popular non-invasive procedure that's supposed to melt away the fat, but will True Sculpt live up to the hype? Coming up next. Welcome to DBL. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. Let's get started.
The people that we need to lead won't lead because they wouldn't stoop to the mudslinging that you would have to do to get elected.
Well, if we do nothing, expect everyone to go insane.
Straight people have never been stoned and tried to be killed for being straight.
I'm actually in shock watching that video.
There's two completely different narratives. I don't think we have enough information.
This is that social injustice that Colin Kaepernick took a knee for.
And if you want it to be a bad thing, you only want Trump to be wrong, and that's not good.
That's how you get out of quicksand, Al.
Oh, good. I'll take that with me never.
You know what this panel needs is more cowl neck.
I've hurt myself.
You can be rich and still humble like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Sorry.
Oh, there you are. That's embarrassing.
I'm done. It was their child in school, and that's the reality. Like, my heart broke.
The only thing that really gave me joy in this life is when I see my kids and I can hug them.
Until recently, I felt like I was one of the only ones.
And they said, you're making this up to your mom?
Oh, I love that.
But no.
Big Jeff gets tired.
Okay.
Welcome back to DBL. Losing weight is hard at any age, but especially if you're Jeff, I'm kidding, in your 40s. Our co-host Jeff Schroeder and his wife Jordan heard about a new non-invasive procedure that's supposed to melt the fat away. He gave it a shot. Did it work? Take a look.
Ooh. Come here, Lawson. I just feel like all of a sudden now I'm just like extra fatty and meaty. I've always struggled from the waist down.
So my problem area has always been my midsection, you know? So my back fat section, I like to refer to as. One point in particular I found out this time I wasn't happy about my body. She's laughing because she knows what it is. It was Thanksgiving, and we took like a family picture of me getting the turkey out of the oven, and I couldn't even tell you what was in that pan because all I could see was my back fat.
The boys are with me at all times. So when I can work out is when he gets off of work, and sometimes after working with kids all day, the last thing I want to do when he gets home is go down and work out.
I've been working out like crazy. I'm pretty strict. I work out at least 5 days a week, and I tried to cut back sugar a little bit more. So I have changed my diet because without changing your diet, you really can't change your body.
What I'm hoping True Sculpt is going to do is just take a couple inches off my outer back thighs.
I just want to be comfortable taking my shirt off at the pool. I know I'm a dad. I know I have 2 kids.
You look good.
The six-pack days are over, though. You know what I mean? So I just want to be comfortable with taking my shirt off at the pool without people snickering when I walk by, like, hey, did you see back fat over there?
Yeah, right.
My name is Inara Gajiva, and I'm with Vital, and I'm going to be treating Jeff and Jordan today. True Sculpt is an FDA-approved treatment that we offer for fat reduction. One of the great things about it is there's no downtime, and you can customize it based on the person's personal concerns. Typically a treatment is about 15 minutes. I mark them before they lay down because things look a little bit different standing up than laying down. We put 2 grounding pads on their back and we hook them up so the treatment starts at the lower temperature. How are you feeling?
Hot.
Hot. Are you sweating?
Yeah.
As we get to the therapeutic, the treatment itself is a full 15 minutes. And after a minute, I increase till we hit about 44, 45 degrees Celsius, and that is when the fat cells itself die.
You know, like when you sear a piece of meat in a cast iron skillet? That's what my back fat feels like.
Once the 15 minutes is done, we take the templates off.
All right, you're up next. Go crush it.
You might have a little bit of redness for about an hour or so, but typically there's no complications. You just resume your normal activity.
Yeah, it feels really good. It just feels like a heating pad.
I feel semi-confident.
Me too. I'm excited to see the afters.
Hey guys,
hey.
Welcome back.
What's
you ready
up,
to take some pictures?
Yes.
All right,
ready.
let's go.
So our final results are in, and I started at 197, and my weight today is 192. And also my belly back fat area, I lost 1.5 inches.
Oh, that's good. So my starting weight was 148.5. In doing True Sculpt and maintaining my healthy lifestyle, today I'm 140.5, which I'm very happy about.
That's really good.
Yeah. And then on my left and right thighs, I've lost 1 inch. So you did good. I think I did better.
We both won. We both did great.
Yes.
Good job, love.
Good.
Did you feel like you were cheating on me? Because I look like a totally different person?
Oh my God, so cheesy.
Just a reminder to always consult your own doctor before starting any weight loss regimen. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
I have.
Can you believe the Love Boat first set sail in 1976? The beloved show featured romance, drama, and oh, so many celebrity cameos. Well, I sat down with Gavin MacLeod and Jill Whalen. You know them as Captain Steubing and Vicky, and they're heading out back to sea 40 years later for an amazingly special reason. Check it out. Gavin and Jill, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Now, Gavin, is it true you were encouraged to not take the role?
Yeah, my agent said, okay, look, Aaron Spelling's got this thing he wants you to do. It's called The Love Boat. I said, oh. And I said, what do you think about it? He says, I read it. I said, what do you think about it? He says, I think it sucks. You want to read it? My wife read it first, and she came into me. She said, Gavin, I just read the first 10 pages. She said, you know, if they put this on the right time, and if you're the captain, she said, this is a wonderful series. And that was the beginning of the whole thing.
You know
but then
what?
the wonderful thing that happened after a few years is when he came and asked me about having a daughter. And that's when she came into the picture. We just enhanced everything so much. It was just wonderful.
It absolutely did. And you know, the moral of that story is wives are always right. So always listen to your wife.
That's true.
So spending 9 seasons at sea was not long enough. You two are heading back out to the ocean, again with Princess Cruise Line. But this time, it's to break a record. So tell our viewers more about this crazy cruise.
You should clear your calendar for February 9th, 2020, because we are inviting anyone and everyone who is married who'd like to renew their wedding vows to come aboard with us as Princess Cruises attempts to set a world record for the largest vow renewals at sea.
Hello, I'm Captain Stubing.
Captain, will the white shorts and hat make a comeback for this cruise and the officiating?
You know, if I get enough votes on that, I think I can buy a tent and make some shorts out of them. Yes.
You still have sexy knees.
Come on.
From the knees
Says your
down.
daughter. I love it. So Gavin and Jill, since I can't keep you all day, I'm just going to ask you a few celebrity rapid fire questions just before we go. Is that okay? All right, let's get started. So who made you both the most starstruck?
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Raymond Burr.
Oh, that's a good one. Who was the funniest celebrity guest star?
Mickey Rooney.
That's good. Now, who was the sweetest?
Tom Hanks.
Marion Ross.
And lastly, the biggest diva. Was there a diva to guest star?
Betty White was there twice.
That's
and
amazing.
She was pretty
There are
cool.
some really fun ones.
That's
really
unbelievable.
Fun ones.
Gavin and Jill, thank you so much for your time. And as I always say, I love the Love Boat. Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Tori.
Bye, guys. We'll be right back. Ooh, the new Dream Team starts Monday. Tori will be hosting. You can still watch Steph in the evenings, me during the day, and Lindsey Granger joining the panel. It's gonna be good. Dude, we got a really cool comment I just wanted to get out. This is from Carol Larson on Twitter. Hey, Daily Blast Live. In regards to vaping, I've been vaping for 7 years, but I was a former 2-pack-a-day cigarette smoker. For me, vaping has improved my health 100%. Don't lump all vaping into the same category. So that is interesting. It has saved a lot of people, too.
Yeah, I wonder if it's if there's different categories, meaning like is some vaping produced at home? Is some...
Well, some is the black market, and a lot of these kids, or some of them, are getting it on the streets, and they're modifying their vape.
Yikes.
So that's really dangerous. I highly advise you not to do so.
But now we're learning the effects of vaping, so I want to see people go from the cigarettes to the vaping to nothing
Well,
at
she
all.
says
That's
she no
what I'm
longer
hoping.
she no longer gets winded and doesn't have all of that terrible
good for her.
problem.
Good
I'm
for
glad
her.
it worked for her.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's I think one case at a time.
Yes.
We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Hey DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now. It's a little loud in here, but I wanted to tell you about Jeff and I's podcast. We do a podcast about Big Brother called In the House. Alex actually joined me last week. He's not there again, but that's okay. Jeff will be back this week. He's obviously back on the panel. This week has gotten a little juicy. Let me know if you watched last night. Obviously tomorrow night it's going to be very exciting. It's a big week on Big Brother, so I want to know what you think. Who do you think will be going home? Who do you want to be going home? Now, if you are reading those spoilers and watching the live feeds, be careful what you say in the chat because a lot of people aren't. But otherwise, feel free to chat about it. All right, guys, we've got a great show coming up for you. And I also want to know your thoughts on our fifth host today. It's a really good fifth host, so let me know. Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, September 12th. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, there's a new plan to ban the sale of most flavored e-cigarettes right now. The Trump administration said yesterday it would ban the sale of the controversial products. Teen use has been on the rise, worrying many health officials. There have been nearly 500 cases of vaping-related respiratory illnesses and at least 6 deaths. Here's what one teen and his mom said happened after a year and a half of vaping.
My lungs were that of a 70-year-old's.
To know that my son's lungs, 18 years old, healthy, an athlete, typical 18-year-old boy, to be laying in a bed and not being able to breathe, and it's every parent's nightmare.
Every parent's nightmare. I mean, to have lungs of a 70-year-old when you've only been vaping for a year and a half, and these vaping cigarettes have been marketed to be somewhat harmless. So this is shocking.
Right, because we don't know what they do yet. They're very new in our society. I think kids do it just because they're cool.
They taste like mango, banana.
They're flavored. I think that they are going to start banning these because whatever this industry is doesn't have a stronghold over our government. Big tobacco had a stronghold over our government, so you can't ban cigarettes. These they don't play a role in our government, so I think they're going to be able to ban them.
Money out of politics,
That's
as people
right.
always
That's
say.
Right.
It's crazy though.
How does it get introduced to the public without us knowing anything? I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. And we've talked about this before in the meetings with the energy drinks. Do we know what having 2 energy drinks a day for 10, 15, 20 years is going to do to somebody?
Someone would say the same thing about 4 Diet Cokes a day.
Well, I'm just thinking you have a situation where clearly they're talking about the practices in terms of marketing to young people, to teenagers. We could easily have the same conversation about alcohol. Ultimately, you have a product that is called the forbidden fruit. It seems much sweeter, therefore younger kids are wanting to use it. However, vapes do provide something for people who are trying to wean off of cigarettes and see this as a healthier or better alternative. So I think that if it's used just like anything else for the purpose and the people that it's for, then that's on them because that's adults. But when it comes down to teenagers using it, teenagers are always going to do things that they're not supposed to do.
So do you think it should be banned?
I don't think it should be banned.
Because there's no point. They're still going to find a way to get it.
I do not think it should be banned.
How about, I get what you're saying because it's totally helpful, but what do you need a pineapple cigarette for? You know what I mean?
Well, because some people prefer that over tobacco.
But if you're weaning off tobacco, why wouldn't you just use a tobacco-flavored vape to wean yourself off of smoking altogether?
It's a preference thing, just like anything else. Like, why would you have vodka instead of gin?
But they don't smoke. They don't smoke orange-flavored cigarettes.
But it's not the same as smoking an actual cigarette and vaping. It's not really the same thing. It's more like for people who have oral fixation issues. Like, it's a habit.
Right, I get it. But I mean,
would you want it banned?
The fruity flavors is what I'm saying. It markets more to kids. I totally get your point of view.
And you want those banned?
Right. I think you should ban those fruity flavors, right?
Yeah, I guess. They banned Joe Camel. Remember back in the day? I'm really dating myself. But Joe Camel, because he had a leather jacket on, he was smoking, he looked cool.
He was trying to be the cool kid.
Yeah, so I think that was their thinking. So I think that you remember candy cigarettes? Am I that old?
I remember candy cigarettes.
Candy. So it's like they kind of, they did get rid of that stuff.
I'm okay with it. I really am. I'm okay with this ban. A couple who had struggled with infertility is suing right now. The couple conceived a daughter after turning to a fertility clinic for help, but they say their daughter shares only half their DNA. They claim she was given sperm from a man who was not her husband. Watch.
You want to have a child, and you can't have one, and then finally you're able to. It was upsetting. It was very confusing.
I can't even imagine. But considering that if you look at Stephanie, our co-host, was showing us some data about 500 or so fertility clinics and the government saying that there is no regulation. So.
Yeah. It's problematic, and I hope that it's not something that we find out, over the long run, that this is far more far more common than we know.
Would they have found out if it wasn't so blatantly obvious, Erica? I don't know if
I
they would
don't know.
have.
I just finished a series on Netflix called Sisters, and it's about this, like a DNA or a clinic that the actual doctor used his own sperm in order.
That's a real story.
Not something. That's a story that I know has happened in real life, and that multiple people are finding out that this person is actually their father. So I think, especially when you're at that stage, there's a sense of desperation because you really want to make this family happen. So I think sometimes people are preying on that. I just hope it's not as common as it's starting to appear.
Erica, you brought up something I think is an even bigger thing than just this couple, because obviously that's terrible for them.
Well, what about a sperm? His sperm's somewhere out there. He could have a child somewhere out there.
Exactly. I mean, but this is, again, this goes into human negligence, human error. But more than that, Erica, you talked about like maybe this is a bigger problem than we know because it's not regulated.
Oh, I guarantee
I didn't realize that rehab wasn't regulated. I think if anybody that we know or ourselves had trouble with any kind of substance abuse, you're like, oh, Sam's in rehab, Jeff's in rehab.
You would
Al's
feel
in rehab.
confident.
But I could open a rehab in that room right there, and it is, as long as I put Al Jackson's rehab, that's a rehab. There's no certification. But we are all told that it's implied that rehab is there's some kind of certification process, that there's some kind of certification process with an IV fertilization, and there's not. And I think that how is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, this family these parents ended up getting a divorce, they say, because of the trauma of it all. So
I just think it's going to happen more and more. I don't know I can't believe it's not regulated. That blows my mind. But with all these DNA tests out there, I think a lot of people are figuring out like, yeah, I think we just did a story about this where they got the sperm mixed up.
And these are the ones that are making it into the media. So,
I know.
Heartbreaking story, it really is. Well, social media is putting Kobe Bryant on blast after he called out a middle schooler. Here's what happened. He posted this photo of his daughter's basketball team from 2 years ago. He singled out a girl who wasn't in the photo, saying she missed this game for a dance recital. People didn't like that at all. So he edited the caption saying she enjoyed dance more than ball, which is fine. Now she eats, sleep, and breathes the game. But it all started for Kobe when he posted this picture of the team's win after losing in the past. I think this is a story of triumph.
Yeah, 100-point triumph, apparently. Did you see the scoreboard?
Yes. Well, yeah,
Are you not going to address the 100-point beatdown that they took? What? Can somebody stop that fight?
This is him. He's saying how
115 to 27.
Yeah. Yikes. Is that a real score?
Yes.
I don't know.
That scoreboard's not there for no reason.
There's a slaughter rule.
Why are people harping on him? In my opinion, this is a dad showing how they were once, not winning, and then they got hungry, they got motivated, and then they ended up winning after really getting hungry.
First of all, this isn't just a dad. This is perhaps one of the greatest basketball players that ever walked this planet.
Yes.
His work ethic is why he's the greatest. He woke up, he shot, I mean, I could go on and on and on. He's giving his professional expertise opinion on this girl doesn't want to play basketball, she wants to dance. That's cool, dance.
But then
you want him to
came
tone
back.
I know, but you want him to tone down his greatness for social media idiots?
Yeah.
No.
But they missed the point. His whole point was she once missed the game for the recital, and then now she lives and breathes basketball. He showed her arc of triumph. I think it's a wonderful thing as an athlete.
To be honest, it is a big fear for a lot of people that in order to be truly great, there is this sense of sacrifice, a truly great sacrifice. And so the idea of it starting early with these young girls, people are very sensitive to it, but ultimately they got a guru teacher, like a goat, and that is worth more than anything.
Agreed. That's gold.
Yes.
Gold.
Yes.
Okay, so which toys deserve to be in the Toy Hall of Fame? The finalists were just announced, and many of the toys definitely make us feel nostalgic.
Oh, those toys.
I can't wait. Some of the finalists include those cuddly soft Care Bears.
No.
I had many. Matchbox toy cars. My Little Pony, I had many.
Yeah.
Erica did too. The Nerf Blaster.
Nope.
Okay. And surprisingly enough, the smartphone, which is a platform for all sorts of mobile games and more. So which one should make the list? Or do you have one that you want to throw in?
You know what? I'm surprised they didn't make a list.
What?
Remember Cabbage Patch Kids?
Oh, yeah.
Those were sold out. My poor mom and dad
Cabbage
had
Patch
to
Kids and Beanie Babies. Do you remember Beanie Babies was people used to make their living on Beanie Babies.
The guy that invented the Beanie Baby is like a billionaire.
Yes, and he was selling sacks of rice.
So
whatever's in those things.
what toy did you want to make the list, even if it's not in there?
That was it. Cabbage Cabbage Patch Kids. There was cards, there was dolls.
So did you have a Cabbage Patch?
Yeah.
You did?
My mom, I think, still has it. She liked it more than I did. Bernard.
Erica, which toy should have made the list, or you can throw your own in?
Peg lights, the little pegs.
Oh, the light brights.
The light brights, yes.
That's a good
I never got that. I only got the little pegs. I never got the actual board.
Now you can buy one.
Erica, I've got good news for you. At the Children's Museum in Denver, they have a life-size one.
Yeah.
You want to go?
It's pretty cool.
And I'm going to have to go.
Okay.
My parents really messed that one up.
It's life-size, Erica. You can design whatever you want.
I'm going to be there all day.
You're going to have to shoo off all the little kids because they're always like trying to
I'm going to be like, I've waited 38 years for this. You wait your turn.
How did Teddy Ruxpin not make the list?
Play-Doh.
Oh,
Play-Doh's a good one.
Too. Legos. Come on.
Come on. Who's on the board over there?
DBL is live coming up. Demi Moore is holding nothing back in the latest issue of Harper's Bazaar, but it's the cover that's turning heads. Plus,
that's what we heard. Huh? That's what we heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't start it. There was a rumor that I repeated.
Okay, Vicky. Wait till she starts spreading rumors about you.
It seems like the longest running housewife just can't keep quiet is Vicki Gunvalson, stirring the pot again. That's in Reality Roundup. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Would high taxes on sugary treats actually change your mind about eating them? Your comments on that next.
Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I was just actually checking the National Toy Hall of Fame because I wanted to see if Play-Doh was already in it. I figured it probably was. It is. It was inducted in 1998. Let's go tell the host. Hey guys.
Hold on. Ellen's number one, Steve Marvin number two.
Anyway, so Play-Doh is on the list. They were already inducted. I was trying to check right before the break to see if Cabbage Patch dolls were on the list. It looked like they weren't, but I needed to do a little more digging on that. I think that's it for this break, guys. But stay tuned. We've got a great show coming up. Bye.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
Because we wouldn't want to do this without you.
So come on in and join the conversation. And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right to it. Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. If you're trying to lose weight, a new study says taxing sugary snacks might be the solution. Research from the UK's 2016 tax on soda suggests that by placing a 20% tax on sweets like chocolate, cookies, and cakes would not only decrease the sale of these pound-packing treats, it will also lower the amount of calories we consume. So DBL Nation, are you willing to pay a sugar tax to promote weight loss? Take it away, Al.
All right, that sounds like a way your grandmother gets you to kiss her when you walk in past the kitchen. Come give grandma a sugar tax.
That's a good one.
Isn't that cute? Yeah,
It's so
cute.
true.
All right.
So true.
Barb from Facebook says, no, the government needs to stay out of my body. I'm a curvy woman because I'd rather eat what I want instead of starving myself. This is no one's business but my own. All right. Barb, I think I agree with you. I think some people may argue that if we go to a healthcare system where everybody pays, if there's not these things in place where some people are eating more, getting sicker over the course of lifetime, they will cost more, and that will cost that taxpayer more. But in this case, I kind of agree with you. Do what you want.
Annie from Facebook says, yes, taxing sugary food falls under the lines of preventable health care. Annie, thanks for writing in. I personally do not think that it's appropriate to tax anything this way, especially when it comes to food. This is a place of privilege because there are a lot of people who don't have the privilege of deciding what they can and cannot eat simply because the resources are very low. So I think this is a very slippery slope, and I think it's coming from a place of privilege.
And Laura's going to speak right to that. Laura from Facebook says, is the government aware of the fact that this kind of junk food is much more affordable for low-income families than healthier food? This is a tone-deaf idea. That's exactly what Erica just stated. I totally agree with you. Here's my thing, though. You're going to tell me the government is worried about our health while they're going to profit from this? We're all getting bamboozled by the government. No tax. Get real. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking out for you, but we're going to put a little money in our pocket. Get out of here.
All right, George, he says it like it is.
Yeah.
Georgia from Facebook says this will save the taxpayer money on health care. I'm for it. I don't want to pay for your bad health. Listen, I just got to echo Erica's sentiment. Actually, I don't want to repeat what she had to say. I agree with exactly what Erica said. I think this is a slippery slope, and only some people will benefit.
How is Jeff not running for office in 2020?
No tax.
I think a lot of people, you speak plainly and you talk for a lot of people. I'm just saying, we don't want you to leave the show.
Yeah.
A little hiatus.
Have you ever thought about getting into politics?
No. I would get in fist fights in the Oval Office.
All right.
You're already in the Oval.
Well, I mean, shoot for the stars, right?
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Anything's possible. City councilman first.
No way. I'm going right to the top if I'm doing it.
Okay. Coming up, just better announce it on this show.
Okay.
All right.
Don't worry. I'll hook you guys up.
Okay. Have you ever had a thing for a sexy cartoon character? Don't lie. Wait till you find out how many of us fantasize about them. And reactions are mixed when a Real Housewife comes out with a brand new perfume. The shade is very real in Reality Roundup.
Good. Oh, yeah. Everyone, happy Thursday. What is Thursday? Friday's baby brother, which means tomorrow we are one step closer to the weekend. I want to know what you guys are up to. Write on into us and do hashtag DBL Nation, hashtag dbltake. I want to hear from you. Last night, a lot of the guys from here went to the Hustlers premiere with Jennifer Lopez, Cardi B, and I'm really disappointed that I didn't get to go because I genuinely really wanted to, but we had a work meeting, so I couldn't make it. But if anyone is going to go and see it, if you're interested in going and watch J-Lo, let me know, write in and tell me if you're going to go. I've heard it's meant to be really good and it's meant to be an Oscar-worthy winning performance. Obviously, I'm not sure if it is or not yet, but if you guys have seen it, let me know. I'm planning on watching it when it comes out next week. I'll fill you in. I love J-Lo. Anyway, we've had loads of comments on the fifth host today. I'll be reading them out in the next break, so get writing in. We will make sure your views are heard, okay? I will read everyone out. I know we don't get through all of them on the show, but I am here to support you and to read all of your lovely thoughts. Get writing in. Now's the time. Do it. Type. Quicker, faster. Do it.
Welcome back to DBL. It's the part of the show where we obsess over our favorite reality TV moments. That's right, everybody. It's time for Reality Roundup. Yes. First up, on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Are you okay there, Tori? Okay, hang in there. Hang in there. Karen's long-awaited signature scent is here, and the reviews are in. Check it out.
Oh, it smells good. Oh, yes. In my mind, I'm about a good 32, 35, tops 36 years old. But after I got sprayed down, I'm about 73, 74. I became a grandma.
My mom will love it.
Ooh, Erica, fill us in.
See, Giselle needs to quit because Giselle just started her own company and it's in cosmetics. Okay. And I think it's bad juju to talk about somebody else's startup and you're trying to do something for yourself as well.
Uplift, right?
You should be supportive.
Yes.
Plus, Wendy Williams was on Watch What Happens Live and she tried La Dame.
What'd she say?
And she said it's actually very light. Ooh. So it can't be for old ladies because old ladies tend to have a stronger, heavier
You're right.
The gardenias.
Okay.
Like that kind of a scent?
Right.
True.
Sure. Next up on the Real Housewives of Orange County, Vicki is back to her old antics. Throw shade, then deflect, on repeat. Enjoy.
Bronwyn, Boring Wyn, is going...
What'd you call her?
Somebody said her name was Boring Wyn.
No, you just said it.
No, I repeated something.
Oh, we have you...
Oh, don't. So what? So what? So what? So what?
Vicki can't help herself. Like, she loves to talk, and then she's like, what? That's what I heard.
Vicki is dirty. Erica, she's always been one to stir the pot and say things and then deflect, but I feel like this season it's crossed the line.
People are getting it. People are catching on.
Right. You can only play the same song so many times before people start to learn the lyrics.
Right.
You know? I mean, this woman has the habit, and they did, I love when they show the receipts, because they did a whole, like, back thing. 5 different examples of her saying, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Man.
Girl, just own it.
Yeah.
Just own it. We know you shady boots. Just be shady in our faces.
Shady boots. And finally, on MTV's The Challenge, things heat up when 2 players face off in a very physical loser goes home competition. Check it out.
All right, boys, get ready. Fire! Get up!
Here, grab the ball and run.
Well, if you watched further, there's a scene in which they start bashing each other in the face.
What do you mean?
Instead of the ball. And you can just see these two don't like each other. It's Bear and Wes. And if you follow the challenge, just know that the Americans who are going to throw a UK person in threw their own American in.
Like
I
the
thought
gauntlet?
there'd be like a big moment here, but nothing.
Well, tell me this, though, Tori. Tell me this. What is it about this show that it always ends up in violence?
There's a lot of violence, and there's a lot of security guards on the show. There's a lot of drinking and nothing to do. And I think these people have pent-up adrenaline.
Aggression.
Yeah, well, I enjoy watching. It's fantastic.
Well, this has been Reality Roundup. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought...
We are. Right, so in the previous break, I was saying to you guys about the 5th house, which we've discussed on the show today, and we were talking about should there be a sugar tax. So just to clarify, more sugary foods and drinks, should there be an extra tax added on because they're foods that are unhealthy for us? Now, my personal opinion was that I don't think there should be, because in some places and for some people, that's all they have access to, and healthier foods can be extremely expensive, which not all of us can afford. Also, something that I learned about when I came to America was a thing called food deserts. Now, I honestly, we don't have that in England. Bear in mind, England's very small compared to America. So I've never been in that situation or been in an area where there hasn't been anything else for such a grand, vast space like there is in America. So that was a big learning thing for me when I moved here. And I found out that in certain areas, people don't have access to fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, because it's so far away from anything. So, someone's there's just a spy over there. Like Al is trying on. I just got a new hat. Al's rocking my new hat. There we go. He's laughing. That's for an upcoming segment, which you'll have to wait and see. I'm filming it next week. I don't know when it's going to be aired, but it's for something very special. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, though. But that's my new hat. Anyway, back to Fifth Host. So I'm going to read out a few comments that you guys have written in with. We've had quite a few. So we've had Tonya Rigsby. She wrote in on YouTube, "Stop taxing everything. Stupid government wants to control all of our money." I mean, I personally get very upset and annoyed by the pink tax. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about that, where things more aimed at women, such as sanitary products, such as pink razors, get a really high tax, and they're more expensive than the exact same products for men's. Like if you bought a men's razor, it'd be considerably less than a woman's. Don't like that. Brandy Sprong wrote in on YouTube and says, "If you're going to put taxes on sugar, food, then lower the price of healthy food so more people can afford it." I agree, Brandy. I think, healthy, fresh food can be incredibly expensive. I remember when I was living in LA, and a box of mushrooms was $5, and that's before you took it to the till, to the checkout, sorry. And I just couldn't get my head around that. In England, that would have been like $1, $2 tops, like if it was a fancy mushroom. So that was such a shock to me. Brandon told me it was $5 for a pepper. It's just crazy to me. Patricia Mueller-Gentry on Facebook wrote in saying, "Absolutely no sugar tax. What would be next? A salt tax?" I mean, I appreciate it, Patricia. Keep writing in though, guys, and letting us know what your thoughts and feelings are. We want to hear from you. Vincent Graham, people small villas will not be able to afford healthy foods. This will not stop the obesity epidemic. I agree. There are so many more things that we need to do. Stay tuned, guys. Don't leave us.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
Because we wouldn't want to do this without you.
So come on in and join the conversation. And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right to it.
Loving it. I love that.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe we're still here. I mean, isn't it crazy? No, I think full disclosure, you don't know. Daytime TV is very difficult to break into. People are committed to what they watch, so I'm just really appreciative of everybody that's watched us and come along for the ride.
It's
We're gonna be
crazy.
We ain't going nowhere, like Puffy in the 90s.
There was a time when we didn't even know if we were going to be here from week to week.
Right.
Remember that in the beginning?
Yes.
So, yeah, we're just a bunch of people that got a job, and we're just happy to still have it.
That's right. You can't
we're
get rid
going
of
strong.
it.
We're going strong. I'm looking around the room right now. We got a couple first dayers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going strong.
That's right.
Well, if we keep this up, we're going to be off the air. All right. If you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next.
Demi Moore does something she hasn't done in almost 30 years. Why it's so liberating this time around. Then, it's a real-life case of Groundhog Day. The shocking story of a girl whose brain resets every 2 hours. And cartoon crushes. You won't believe how many Americans actually fantasize about animated characters when DBL comes back.
What's up, Beauty Blast? I'm Jeray from The Slay, and today we're talking a little beauty tea gossip. Now, a lot has been going on in the beauty world lately, but one new collaboration is setting a new record for everybody, all right? Drybar and IT Cosmetics has collabed together for a brand new product launch coming August 1st. Now, can you guess what it is? Now, let's think about this. They're both cosmetic companies. Drybar does hair, IT Cosmetics does skin and makeup. What could they do in common? Oh yeah, lashes. Lashes have hair, right? And we use them in makeup as well, so it kind of makes sense. Guess what? It is a mascara that they're making for us, guys. This mascara looks like it's out of this world, and it actually combines two great features from both companies. Now, IT Cosmetics came into play and actually gave those great killer ingredients that it's so well known for. Biotin, collagen, and hyaluronic acid too, all to help hydrate and lift those beautiful lashes and keep them looking pretty. Drybar came in and said, let's make it look just like what everyone wants. Let's give them what they want, let's say that. Volume, guys. They actually took the idea from their volume-based hair products and they actually created this little mascara brush that looks just like their round brush. Crazy, right? Now, it even went as far as to having little yellow balls on the tips of the brush to actually separate and define the lashes, which I was like, okay, y'all might be trying it a little bit too much. Now, with this mascara, it actually is going to be having an amazing finish and it's supposed to give you that beautiful lift and curl. So we're gonna try it out and see just how it does very soon here. Now, it launches on August 1st, so hopefully we get it once it gets into a retail store right away. So, for more beauty gossip, make sure you check out more Beauty Blast and check out my social media platforms at Jeray for the Slay. We'll see you guys next time.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started. 56-year-old Demi Moore is stripping down for Harper's Bazaar magazine. She talks about a time when her mother tried to commit suicide. She says she had to dig the pills my mother had tried to swallow out of her mouth while my father held it open and told me what to do. Something very deep inside me shifted then, and it never shifted back. My childhood was over. Well, that's not all she's talking about. Her memoir, Inside Out, comes out later this month. In it, she talks about the role she played in Hollywood as a woman fighting for pay equality. And she also goes in depth about her marriages to Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher. A very interesting woman who's definitely stood the test of time when it comes to how her longevity in this career as well in Hollywood, which is usually very short-lived, Erica.
Right, and she has actively, I believe, made the decision because they didn't even live in Hollywood. They lived in
they were like Montana, something like that. Yeah.
So made the decision to have a private life that they protected. But I think that's really interesting because I think we can all go to a time when we realize that our childhood was over.
I know.
And generally it's that picture that you continue to see over and over. So for her, I appreciate her sharing that.
That's really honest, and you don't necessarily, I mean, you think about a Demi Moore and you think this is somebody that's had it all, right?
Yeah.
And we forget that celebrities often also deal with their own trauma. So it's relatable too.
Yeah, and also as parents or just people that have been children, it's very difficult when you decide to make the decision almost when to take your kid's childhood away. You know, it hit me. I remember my daughter was doing a report on Martin Luther King, and I had to explain to her why he was important.
Right.
But you can't explain Martin Luther King without explaining racism and explaining civil rights and then explaining why that had to happen. And you just see it, like, why would somebody not like? And so, like, when do you have that discussion? 9? When do you have the discussion about, hey, Sophie, sometimes when you walk to the store and you're 10 years old, a grown man is going to yell something disgusting out of a car window. When do you have that discussion?
Right. I haven't even thought about that. That is horrible.
It's just, you know, the world is there, and it's this fine line between protecting them, but then also you don't want to send them into the world, a babe in the woods that's never seen anything. So what do you do?
Wow. Well, chime in, DBL Nation, please. Okay, have you ever fantasized about a cartoon character? Turns out 1 in 4 people have. That means one of us on this panel. Maybe it was Jessica Rabbit or Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid comes to mind. A new study says people who fantasize about fictional characters are uncomfortable with intimacy, and that 1 in 6 people fantasized about sex with an alien.
Okay, can I just stop there with these stats?
Yeah.
No one's ever asked me in my life, do I want to have sex with an alien for a survey? Where do you get these numbers? 1 in 6 people want to have sex
Probably Pornhub.
Yeah.
They have stats.
Okay, when was the last time you took a survey on Pornhub, Al?
Well, no, they
have data on what's been downloaded.
Search history.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Okay, so
get out of here. Not everybody's on Pornhub. You can't just throw around numbers.
There's a lot of people on
1 in 6
Pornhub.
people. 1 in 6. Who in here wants to have sex with an alien?
No one's gonna yell that out.
Oh, we have one person here. 2 people here.
Yeah.
2 people, but the one person's holding up both her hands.
Yeah.
She is wearing alien green,
Yeah. Listen, I will be honest, because we do say that we are completely honest on this show. I never sexually fantasized about Howard the Duck, but I did have a crush on him at like 8 years old. So.
But where did you think it was gonna go?
You had a crush on that? That is scary.
That's Sam's type. That's more of a shot at your
8.
husband.
I was like 8. Oh, really,
You clearly
Al?
have a type.
Al Jackson, you said earlier today that you sexually fantasized about one particular cartoon. Okay, at least I had a crush, didn't sexual fantasize. Who did you sexually fantasize about,
I said Holly from that movie Cool World, but I thought she was sexy. I didn't say I sexually fantasized. See, what's wrong with that? It was 1992.
Hot.
I was
She's hot.
that's about that time.
Jeff?
I mean, the classic Jessica Rabbit comes to mind,
Did you
right?
sexually fantasize about Jessica Rabbit?
No, I was 8.
Yeah, you still know what's going on.
So you just had a crush on her. You had a crush on her. Erica's shaking her head. Never, Erica.
Well, I was asked, just like all of you were asked, and apparently you responded with a name. I responded with, "This is weird. Stop asking." I don't get this at all.
That's why it's 1 in 4. But clearly on this panel, it's 3 out of 4.
It's not, though. These numbers, people just make up these numbers, and no one questions them at all.
I think you'd be surprised.
I think you'd be shocked.
8 billion people in the world,
Shocked.
bro.
1 in 6? Get real. No way I'm buying that.
Okay. You don't have to buy it.
Now, is this
He doesn't
ever
have
or
to buy it.
currently?
What?
Like this?
I don't know, Al. I didn't come up with this.
Now we're taking stats
All
from
right.
people who've passed on.
Okay. This next story is absolutely will blow your mind. Every morning, a teenager wakes up and can't remember anything after only 2 hours. She accidentally got kicked in the head back on June 11th, but doctors don't know what is wrong. She says, "I have a calendar on my door, and I look, and it's September, and I'm like, whoa." Of course, we here at DBL wish her well in her recovery and hope she regains her memory. But what happened back on June 11th, the day that she keeps reliving? Well, if you recall, Jon Stewart appeared before Congress fighting for a bill compensating 9/11 responders, and President Trump called Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden a loser. Well, here's what happened on DBL on June 11th. Apparently, Gwyneth Paltrow has a hard time remembering all her roles. She plays Pepper Potts in the Avengers series, of course, but she forgot her appearance in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
You know what I'm saying? My sister's name is Hennessy, right? So everybody used to call me Bacardi. So I always call myself Bacardi, right?
Right now, Keanu Reeves is being praised online for how he poses in photos with women. Take a look at the actor in these photos shared on Twitter. He's hovering his hands so he doesn't put his arms around women when taking photos. Can you imagine reliving that day over and over and over again?
No, I immediately think
like
of
that
50
here on
First
this
Dates.
show.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we relive it every day.
Kind of feels like our life.
I like how we have a story about a little girl losing her memory and somehow Trump slips in there.
Well, I mean, that was
that's
just
a news headline.
Yeah, I mean, that's
what she used to live with every single day.
We're not talking about the little girl.
Well, we don't know all the details. We know that the doctors haven't been able to find anything. We wish her well, but unfortunately, those are just all the details there are to report.
Yeah, I think people don't understand things. So a lot of times what we go on is what we've seen in movies. So we see movies like Groundhog's Day that's kind of charming and funny. We see 50 First Dates. It's kind of rom-com, charming and funny. It's still a love story. I mean, but like this is not cute or funny if you have to live this, or you're this girl's parents, because you're like, you don't remember your brother's birthday.
Heartbreaking.
You're like, she's missing her childhood for whatever reason, whether it's just going on in her head or it's just something really neurological. So this is like really sad, but we don't have anything to base it on because probably none of us, especially on the panel or watching, knows anybody. I've never seen anything like this.
Especially because they can't find anything in any of her brain scans. So I hope that they can figure it out, and I hope that she's able to regain a normal memory, because she can't have a normal life unless she's able to do just that.
Right.
So
just kicked in the head too.
Oh, I know. Yeah, very sad. But we wish her all the best. Coming up on DBL, we've got an unbeatable price on this faux snake handbag, perfect for fall. Don't miss our DBL deal blast. And Shawn Mendes and Kibeho turned out the heat on Instagram, but is their post just a social media fail? That's next. DBL, we are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about. Breaking right now, there are new developments in the alleged attack on actor Jussie Smollett.
It's not about demonizing police. It's about outreach in the communities.
Well, if we do nothing, expect everyone to go insane.
This is that social injustice that Colin Kaepernick took a knee for.
So that's how you get out of quicksand, Al.
Oh, good. I'll take that with me never.
You know what this battle needs is more cowl neck.
I've hurt myself. You could be rich and still humble like Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'm done. It was their child in school. Like, my heart broke.
The only thing that really gave me joy is when I see my kids and I can hug them.
I felt like I was one of the only ones.
And they said, you're making this up to your mom?
Oh, I love that.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
Welcome back to DBL. Being a celebrity is not always a walk in the park.
Tell me about it.
Sure, there's the fame and fortune, but one slip up on social media and they may never live it down. Like Kristen Cavallari, for example, the Laguna Beach star posted this photo yesterday with the caption, "NYC for 24 hours, what a time to be here, always remember." Her 9/11 tribute rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Cavallari ended up firing her social media staffer because of the backlash. Yeah, she made the post all about her, but it wasn't her choice. Her social media manager made that post all about her. But then her caption was all about 9/11. So there was a huge disconnect there.
Yeah, you got to be careful about things like that.
Yeah.
You probably might not want to post at all if you can't get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say that this is in. We got to look at it from all sides. I feel like probably whoever's running their social media page was a young person. It might not have really felt the impact of 9/11.
You're
I
right.
think
Great
if
point.
anybody our age was running their social media, we would be like, put an American flag up, put never forget, and call it a day.
Yep.
But if you were 3, you're like, that would be our Pearl Harbor. We're just like, we know it was bad, but like we don't have any reference for it.
Mm-hmm.
Great point.
Next, we have fellow pop stars Shawn Mendes and Kamiya Kibeho. These two lovebirds are no stranger to the spotlight. Remember their performance at the Video Music Awards last month? It was their lack of chemistry that made headlines. So the famous couple decided to address haters in a very interesting way, with a bizarre video of them kissing. If you can call it kissing, it's weird. Prepare yourselves. Hit it.
We saw, like, on Twitter and stuff, you guys saying stuff about the way we're kissing and how it looks weird, like we kiss like fish. We just want to show you how we really kiss.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
No.
God.
All right, they're joking.
Oh, they are
Yeah.
joking. I thought they were serious for a second.
It's still, I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
They're clearly kidding. The joke's on us, but it's...
No, it's not on us. They're trying, look, they had no chemistry, their performance was whack, and now they're trying to make it like it's our fault by being like, oh, this is how we really kiss. No, you guys had your chance on national TV and you blew it. So suck it up and deal with it.
Why address it? Why address it at all? You know what I mean?
They're narcissists. Jack.
Yeah.
They're
That's
famous
why.
and rich, and just move on with your life.
Move on.
Go to your boat and chill for a minute.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? Like, why you gotta post that wacky video?
I know.
Now, when I see them, I'm gonna be like, remember that stupid video that they did?
Yeah.
Why'd they do that?
I know.
Well, I don't know if y'all realize this, but there's a whole bunch of liquor in the back.
Uh-oh.
Can we get back to that?
Erica the spy.
Erica the detective.
You see that? We got
yeah.
Grey Goose.
Yep.
We got
I see some
Kangaroo-
Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah, Bombay. So, see, that's why the video
Why can't we
was
get that in this
posted.
studio?
Mm-hmm. Blame it on the alcohol.
Yeah, every
Are those big
time.
bottles? What's going on? Where are they?
Looks maybe a hotel.
Doesn't look.
All right.
Okay.
Finally, Halle Berry is getting roasted for her picture of her hand. Followers were quick to point out that her hand might need a little moisture. One person likened them to construction worker hands.
Oh my gosh.
Halle clapped back by saying, "I knew someone was going to crack on the hand." People are so mean.
Listen, if your only tell is your inside of your hand for aging, Give me old hands all day long, okay?
Right?
I don't even care.
And I think with the filter and everything she chose, it just highlighted all the little lines in your hand.
Yeah,
we all
I think
have
she was trying to
wrinkly
highlight
hands.
the butterfly at the expense of the poem.
I think so too.
Yeah, and she's from Cleveland, so do we give her a pass?
She's flawless.
Yes, as all
people could not wait to just attack one little thing about Halle Berry.
Who are these people? Where are you? Where are you? I don't understand. Writing reviews on Yelp, writing to Halle Berry.
Yep.
What's going on?
I know. Do you work?
Do you have things to do? I mean, even a video
game. Do you have a family?
I don't understand.
I'm with you, Jeff.
I think everybody wants to connect. You're
not connecting by
You're bashing.
People want to be acknowledged, whether it's positive or negative acknowledgement. That's the truth. Some people will prefer negative acknowledgement.
And also, the reply from Halle Berry made it worth it.
I guess so. That's true. Coming up on DBL, we're saving you money on hot products, including compression socks that look good and feel good too. Get holiday shopping done early in our DBL Deal Blast.
Hi guys, Kelly and Jeff here. Why are you laughing at that? We're here to talk about Big Brother. Jeff, what do you think of Big Brother?
Now
Who do you
you made
think's
it
gonna? No, you made it weird. You giggled like a little schoolgirl.
Because it was funny the way you started it.
I'm
It's official.
Kelly and
Like
you're Jeff.
we're getting counted down. All right. Anyways.
3. Let's start this over.
All right,
Ready?
let's do it again.
3,
Ready?
2, 1. Hey guys, Kelly here, and
hey, I'm Jeff.
We're here to talk about Big Brother. Jeff, who do you think is going to go home this week, or who do you want to go home?
Oh, okay. So for Big Brother fans out there, listen. If Tommy goes to the final 2 with anybody left in the house, he wins.
He wins for sure. I agree, but don't you think there's a better chance of you at least getting to the final 2 if you don't have Holly and Mickey still in? At least you're going to win a little bit of money.
Well, here's my approach, like from Holly and Mickey as a couple's point of view, because that's how I always played the game.
Of course.
I would say to Jordan, listen. We have to stay together because there's a chance one of us are going to win the $500,000.
For sure.
If one of us get knocked out and we go to the end with Tommy, none of us are going to win.
Yeah.
So you have, for the couples, they obviously want to stay together.
Well, of course.
But you've got to get rid of Tommy. So even for Cliff and Nicole,
You
if
think
they're
the
like,
best move is to get rid of Tommy?
especially for them. I mean, Jackson would have the best chance, I think.
Yeah.
Cliff and Nicole are playing a great game too, but sitting next to Tommy, there's no chance.
What about Cliff and Tommy next to each other in the final 2?
Tommy.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to get rid of Tommy.
Yeah.
I see the logic in splitting up the couples.
I do too. I see the logic, but
you're not.
Ooh, I'm so
if Tommy
excited to
gets
see
there,
what's
it's
going to
over.
happen tonight. DBL Nation, please write in and let us know what you think. Do you think Tommy should go home or Holly? And let us know why.
How much do you love Nicole?
I love Nicole.
She's the best.
Well, lifestyle expert Miss Denise Plant is in the house, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for DBL Deal Blast, where we've teamed up with morningsave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. And I'm checking out these products that you brought here today, and I'm getting this festival vibe.
Yes,
it all can feel a little festival-y, starting with these compression socks, because if you're flying somewhere and you swell like I do, you're gonna need something like this.
And they're fun to travel with, and they're also, if you have problems sleeping at night, tingling in the legs, this will help. It's the 6-pack Extreme Fit XTF Copper Compression Socks. Now it's unisex knee-long socks. It improves circulation and it reduces swelling. I do honestly think they're so cute. Remember the knee highs when we were younger?
Yes.
I'm sorry, compression socks can be a little sexy now, ladies.
Yes, and that's important, especially for those of us who we like to be a little fashionable when we travel. How much are we talking?
Makes a difference. Normally as much as $90, but today only $20, savings up to 78% off.
Wait, $20 for all of these or just for the pair?
No, $20 for the 6-pack.
Okay, y'all do the math, but that math is good. Now, once you've landed to whatever city your festival's in, it's really important that you keep your valuables close to the body. So I love the crossbody bag for this, and these are super stylish. Tell me more about them.
They're so cute.
They are cute.
They make me want to do the happy dance.
Yeah.
It's the Moto Luxadel 4-in-1 reversible crossbody bag. It has different pockets, so you can keep all your important things close by, like your cell phone, your credit cards, and lipstick. Just a girl,
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. Are these going to break the budget so there's nothing to actually put in the bag?
No, 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 no. And there's one thing that I want to show you here if you get a close-up. Look, it has a little magnet when you open it up. Isn't that cute?
Wow.
So you think, yeah, oh, it's pink, but bam, there's the pop-up.
That is amazing.
And then the other side has a different color, so I just wanted to show you that. So normally, as much as $70, I would pay that for one of these crossbody bags.
Me too.
But now, only $25, savings up to 64% off.
$25, and you're essentially getting 3 different bags in one, so you can coordinate the different colors with your different outfits.
Just a girl.
All right, all right. Being just a girl, we get the earthly vibes and wanting to get back to nature and doing some muddy things with our beautiful faces. So, okay, at the end of the night, when we're trying to take care of ourselves, what are we gonna do?
My kids walked in on me and they saw this mud mask on my face. They literally looked at me and went, Dad, she's finally lost it. And they look kind of funny, but it feels so good and it's great for your face. It's the 2-pack Earth Vibes Dead Sea Exfoliating Mud Mask. This, my friends, improves skin health thanks to Dead Sea mud, which contains a plethora of minerals. So it moisturizes, it heals, and it reverses age in the skin.
Well, I just have to say to your boys, you haven't lost it, you actually gained it because you found the fountain of youth, honey.
Aww.
How much is the fountain of youth costing us?
I love coming here. As much as $40 normally, which is totally worth it, but because we're at Deal Blast today, we are going to do it $15, savings up to 63% off.
$15. I'm telling you, you can't even go to like the cheapest place and get a mask done for that because they charge you out the wazoo, whatever the wazoo is. Okay, so we're at the festival. We have all of our essentials, and now we want to take some photos. I personally am so excited that this is back on Deal Blast.
Obsessed.
Because I use this all the time. Tell us more about it.
What do you take pictures with these lenses?
Because, so the lenses can go farther out,
yes,
really close in, but you don't have to move your phone in order to do that. And you know, like for selfies when you're like this,
yes,
and you can only get like 2.5 people in it, that takes care of it for you.
That was a test to see if you were really using the 5-piece lens kit.
Of course I'm using it. Of course.
You passed, you passed. It's the 2-pack Power to Go 5-in-1 Universal Lens Kit Bundle, which includes carrying case, and it's a 5-in-1 detachable lens. Normally, you would pay a high price for this.
Yeah, I know. There's so much you can do with your phones, but you need some professional equipment,
yes,
and so I feel like that's going to be a professional price.
Normally as much as $100, but now $15 for a 2-pack, savings up to 85% off today for Deal Blast.
$15 for a 2-pack, so now you can get one for you and your Instagram husband, okay? No more excuses, honey.
I didn't know we
no
were
more
talking about
excuses.
Instagram husbands today.
Yeah, well, we always talk about that because, you know, you're responsible for taking the photos. All right, so we have all of our essentials for the festival and at really great prices. Yep. Miss Denise Plant, thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
She's our lifestyle expert, and she hooks us up with all the products. So head over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Miss Denise Plant.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you
Hey,
by...
welcome to Daily Blast Live. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm great. Good to be here with you.
We're going to talk to you about something not so nice. About the fact that you're always getting killed off in everything, love.
Do you think that?
Oh, Miami Vice, you died in the pilot.
Yes.
NYPD, your character was killed off.
True.
Star Wars, What was your favorite death?
I actually like the Miami Vice going out because just before the character got blown up, Thomas said, why don't you turn around and smile at Crockett, who's Don Johnson's character, like not a care in the world. And he was so right on with that particular moment.
And in that moment, it was all over.
Boom.
It was off. All right, talk about Buff City Law, your new show. So in it, you play a prominent lawyer who teams up with his estranged daughter to change the world.
Change the world.
Change the world. That's a pretty big statement, right? How are you going to change the world in this series? Tell me.
You know, the law, the whole area of the law is something that's very aspirational in a lot of ways.
Everyone likes to talk about how this kind of work is rewarding, but if you lose, it destroys you.
It deals with subjects that talk about what the best of our society could possibly be, and the people who champion causes.
Yeah.
It is a father and daughter story at its center.
We're total opposites. You're conservative. I wage war.
Our differences could be our strength.
You can't just silence the truth. I want the order.
Judicial court for review. That was brilliant in there.
Right, so Spanish is meant to be the language itself. It's very nice, it's very romantic, it's very poetic, isn't it?
That's
you
what
can
you're
tell
saying.
I've got a bit of a gripe against this because the Queen's English, in my opinion, sounds much better.
Does it?
So I want to find out once and for all, which one is the most romantic or sexy language? How would you say, smell this dirty t-shirt?
Por favor, de un olor a esa camisilla.
Okay, you're definitely winning. Go on, hit me while I just calm myself down from that.
I'm very tired, please leave me alone.
I'm bloody knackered. Will you bugger off?
Say it again.
I'm bloody knackered. Will
Knackered.
You... Knackered. I'm knackered, darling. I'm ready for a nap. Will you bugger off?
I really like that. I'm bloody knackered.
I'm bloody knackered, Jimmy. I'm in need of a kip, lad. Okay, right, are you ready? Oh, now I want you to tell me how you'd say this.
Okay.
Dennis France's butt was the best part of NYPD Blue.
La arquitectura del cuerpo del posterior de Dennis France es una maravilla.
I appreciate the movement as
The
well.
movement.
That made it. That made it. Jimmy, you've been absolutely amazing.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy Denver.
Thank you, love. And
Be
you
nice
enjoy-
to her.
Ooh, you better tune in Monday.
So
Lots
cool.
of surprises. One last story before we go. A man tried to pull a fast one on airport officials in India. The 32-year-old disguised himself as a senior citizen in an attempt to match a fake passport. He was hoping to sneak on a flight to New York City sporting a fake beard, big glasses, and he even had a wheelchair. Security staff were onto him, and now he's in custody.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty good.
What do you mean that's pretty good? You don't mess around on an airplane.
No, I'm saying he looked pretty good. Like that, he looked like an old man.
I think he almost pulled it
passed.
off.
Yeah, and then security smashes his head against the airplane, and then he sues them because get out of here. I hate this story.
What?
I don't know. It makes me mad.
This guy, he reminds me of the drug dealer dressed up like the 13-year-old girl. Remember that?
Yeah, trying to sneak out of prison.
Yes.
Remember when you were little and you were scared that like certain hitchhikers were dressed as old women? No?
That's never been a thing. Ever.
I'm from the west side of Chicago, Sam.
What, were you on a road trip with Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow.
What?
Halle Schubert here, the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news. We were just getting Sam's story on the end of that show. She said her parents always told her when she was younger to watch out for hitchhikers dressed as old women because they could be people. An old woman hitchhiker is what she was supposed to watch out for because they could be a person disguised as an old woman trying to get you to pick them up. Anyway, I feel like, let's talk about hitchhiking a little bit. Would you pick up a hitchhiker? I know it depends on where you live, but I feel like... What? Oh, Tori. Look at Tori.
Yeah, so I use my phone to keep track of it.
So Tori's getting herself prepped for the show, if you can see. Can you hear her voice? Because it's not great. Tori! Tori, give us a smile. Give her a tap.
Because I know that
Anyway, we finally got her attention. But back to the hitchhiking. Would you pick up a hitchhiker? I don't think I would. Jeff says no too. But I want to know what you think, because I do think it depends on where you live. And I think hitchhiking is definitely, like, I've seen more lately, like, than I used to. Does that make sense? It was like hitchhiking was back in the day. It was like an okay thing to do. Then it wasn't, but I feel like now it is again. Let me know what you think. Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Three, two. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, September 12th. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, there is a new plan to ban the sale of most flavored e-cigarettes right now. The Trump administration said yesterday it would ban the sale of the controversial products. Teen use has been on the rise, worrying many health officials. There have been nearly 500 cases of vaping-related respiratory illnesses and at least 6 deaths. Here's what one teen and his mom said happened after a year and a half of vaping.
My lungs were that of a 70-year-old's.
To know that my son's lungs, 18 years old, healthy, an athlete, typical 18-year-old boy, to be laying in a bed and not being able to breathe, and it's every parent's nightmare.
Where is the regulation here, considering the fact that when e-cigarettes first came on the market, and even I would say up until a few months ago, we were all under the impression that they were completely harmless and marketed, in my opinion, to a lot of teenagers with the fun flavors like mango and banana and strawberry, bubblegum. And then now when we find out these new details, kind of like it echoes when we learned how harmful cigarettes were, you know, right after doctors were prescribing them to lower stress levels.
Right, cool your T-zone.
Yeah, I mean, here we are though. How is this history repeating itself? Did we not learn anything the first time?
We still allow cigarettes. You know what I mean? There's not a ban
with
on
warnings.
cigarettes. With warnings. I get it, but once we learned how horrific a lot of people die from cigarettes, and I get it. I'm glad Trump's doing something, but that's 6 people have died. All right, 7 kids die a day from gun violence. So I just want us to prompt. He was so prompt, and I think First Lady Melania really helped spearhead this, because I think Barron is around a lot of vaping teens and she saw it. That's my speculation. But I just want, like the head of Moms on Demand for Action was saying, we have 9,000, gun deaths a year. This is also a national crisis.
I would agree with that. I would.
I'm not trying to harp on it,
and I'll give President Trump credit here. I know a lot of you don't want anything banned. You think that will actually increase the supply, and perhaps you're right, but I'm giving him credit for doing that. But I also would like to see something with gun violence as well.
Right, and I would probably liken it more to cigarette deaths, because there's, how many, a day,
How many are dying?
I don't know, there's a lot, that a day. But listen, this is a tool for some people to wean off smoking. Yes. I understand that. But the flavors, like you mentioned, bubblegum and all that.
It's not right.
I mean, that's targeted right towards kids to get them addicted to this,
I would have to say that Juul, in my opinion, will maybe go out of business. This is my speculation.
Well, what if they just did tobacco flavors?
Now they took out everything already. It's every day in the New York Times they take a page out, Juul, and says, this is what we're doing to combat teen vaping. They still have mint and menthol, and they won't get rid of it. And so those are sticking around for a lot of teens.
But you could still smoke menthol cigarettes.
Absolutely.
So I get the comparison for that. So I don't know. It's tough.
Do you think it should be banned really quick before we move on?
I think we have banned things that we figured out were bad for people. Remember Four Loko? We took that off the market pretty quickly. They're not cigarettes, but we have seen things that's almost like a public health issue. And with the amount of people you see like vaping every day, we don't know where this is going to go, but we know it's not going to be good. It's not going to give you a six-pack.
I know.
It's not going to be good.
That teenager had the lungs of a 70-year-old after vaping for 1.5 years. That's alarming. All right, let's get to this next story. A couple who had struggled with infertility is suing right now. The couple conceived a daughter after turning to a fertility clinic for help, but they say their daughter shares only half their DNA. They claim she was given sperm from a man who was not her husband. Watch.
You want to have a child, and you can't have one, and then finally you're able to. It was upsetting. was very confusing.
Very upsetting. This couple ended up in divorce considering all the trauma.
Yeah.
And not only that, he has no idea where his sperm is, Jeff. He could have a child somewhere out there. There's no regulation in any of these fertility clinics. So guaranteed there's many more cases just like this.
That there's no regulation blew my mind. I didn't know that until we talked about it earlier, and I was like, what? This is, I think, happens a lot more often than anyone even covers, because we did this story just a couple weeks ago.
You're right.
But with these DNA tests now.
Everyone's got it easily at CVS. They can pick it up.
Right. So I think a lot of people are figuring out that, you know, it's not what they seem.
So how can you protect yourself? How can you, because believe me, I have so much empathy for all those couples out there who are, and thank God for infertility treatments. Right. Thank God for IVF, things like that. But how do we protect those people?
I mean, it looks like it's up to you. I mean, the government regulations are really just Yelp for everybody. The government's like, you can use this product, you can't use this product. And since that's not being done, since there's no regulation with things like even drug and alcohol rehab, there's no regulation. You have to talk to people. You have to look at reviews. You have to go in there and interview and treat it like these are people you're hiring, and no different than hiring a secretary or a contractor. You should go in and talk to these people and just.
You got to do your research.
Right. I mean, but again, where they're human beings, there's going to be error. And since there is no regulation, what's the penalty for a place that's lost your husband's sperm, giving you the wrong sperm? You've now conceived a child with a genetic disorder. What's the kid's here now?
I know.
So what do you do?
And how confusing.
And how do you heal from that?
Yeah.
How do you heal? All right, well, chime in, DBL Nation. Social media is putting Kobe Bryant on blast after he called out a middle schooler. Here's what happened. He posted this photo of his daughter's basketball team from 2 years ago. He singled out a girl who wasn't in the photo, saying she missed this game for a dance recital. People didn't like that at all. So he edited the caption saying she enjoyed dance more than ball, which is fine. Now she eats, sleeps, and breathes the game. But it all started for Kobe when he posted this picture of the team's win after losing in the past. I think this is an awesome story of triumph. You come from failure. Like, that's how you win. You get motivated from losing. So that's what he was trying to. What is wrong with people out there? They got to find something wrong with everything.
And you're getting motivated by perhaps the best basketball player that ever walked the earth. You're getting criticism from him, constructive criticism, I should say. And people are bashing him.
Yeah,
it's like, do you want him not to chime in?
I was going to say, you don't want that kind of help. People on our DBL Nation have been all chiming in, and most of them say, look, he's got 4 daughters. He wants to help bring up these women and empower them. If he was pitying them, we'd say that's so patronizing. So I think it's fantastic what he's doing.
He's highlighting the girl's drive. He's saying she once wasn't that into basketball. Now she's one of the star players. Like,
I think there's another lesson that we're kind of skipping over here, and it's the fact that if you want to do something now in 2019 as a young person, there's so much competition with everything. You need. I mean,
you got to be the best.
I read an article the other day saying that now rich kids have more of an advantage in sports than poor kids, and it's almost reversed because rich kids can get a shooting coach when they're 4.
That's always
can get a baseball
always
coach.
been the case.
You get a former pro to teach your son how to throw a left-handed curveball. So now, I mean,
it's facilities too. When you have a better facility in a very rich, affluent neighborhood, let me tell you, if you're competing in an outdoor swimming pool in Denver, Colorado, in 70-degree weather in the winter, compared to someone that can go into an indoor pool, I'm telling you, it's always been that way, and it's atrocious. It's
if you want to do anything, you have to be all in. And people are like, well, they're 10. There's a 10-year-old right now that's got a private coach.
Got to work twice as hard.
Yeah,
you
so
do.
Like, you got to go all in.
It's a good lesson. It's a great lesson.
Team Mamba.
Which toys deserve to be in the Toy Hall of Fame? The finalists were just announced, and many of the toys definitely make us feel nostalgic. Some of the finalists include the cuddly soft Care Bears. Loved them.
Boring.
Matchbox toy cars, yes. My Little Pony, oh yeah.
The smell.
The Nerf Blaster, I'll destroy you, Al. And surprisingly enough, the smartphone, which is a platform for all sorts of mobile games and more. So which toy should make the list? Or you could throw in a different toy, throw in a different one.
I thought Cabbage Patch.
They were not on the list, and they've never made the list.
Yeah, there was cards, there was all the dolls.
Remember Pound Puppies?
Oh, yeah, I like Garbage Patch Kids.
Garbage Pail.
Garbage Pail, yeah.
Kids.
Those are cards, those weren't toys.
Yeah, those are trading cards.
Well, it turns out in 2005, I got from the booth that the cardboard box made it as one of the favorite toys.
Oh.
That beat out Light Bright and things like that.
Well, cardboard box is innovative and awesome. You can build a fort with a cardboard box. It can be
Christmas lights.
How poor were you guys growing up?
Cardboard boxes are great.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Okay, what would you pick?
Does Sophie have a cardboard box at home?
No, but when we unpack,
yeah, everybody does, Sam. That's what happens when you take something out of the box.
When we unpack our Amazon purchases, then she'll play with the cardboard box.
Until you dispose of it, because that's not a toy. Okay. Where's the gavel?
You didn't answer my question though. What toy should be on there?
Beanie Babies. I feel like Beanie Babies, they were big because they were like the first kind of currency.
That's true. There is a currency.
There was value there, yeah.
Remember that famous divorce? They had to separate the Beanie Babies in the courtroom?
No, I know.
Oh, it was terrible.
We need a picture of that right now.
Wow, I'm surprised I missed
What else?
that story.
The Magic 8 Ball made the list. Magic 8 Ball.
Anyone like the Fisher-Price baking setup? I like
but it took 4 hours to make a blueberry pie.
It was just a light bulb, wasn't it?
What were your toys
forever.
like? I'm just
what
curious.
did you play with?
What was like your toy room like?
We played lawyer.
Did you have
and we
like
would fax
stuffed presidents?
Yes,
Yeah.
and we had blocks with presidents, and we put them in order, and then we would play
For
lawyer.
real?
Yeah, we would play lawyer, and I'd frisbee over to my secretary, my next door neighbor, and call it a fax.
That's smart.
That's so
cool.
lame, isn't it?
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. It's lame.
Al's sleeping.
Tori's like the kid you go over to the house to play, and you're like, these toys suck.
The boring.
But the house is so nice from the outside. You're like, they gotta have good toys, and the toy's got a gavel and a box. We're gonna play lawyer today. You know what? I don't feel good.
I want to go home.
Yes.
DBL is live.
Courtroom.
Coming up, Demi Moore is holding nothing back in the latest issue of Harper's Bazaar, but it's the cover that is turning heads. Plus,
That's what we heard. Huh? That's what we heard.
I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't start it.
There was a rumor that I repeated. I never would say that.
Vicky. Wait till she starts spreading rumors about you.
ooh, it seems like the longest running housewife just can't keep quiet. Is Vicki Gunvalson stirring the pot again? That's in Reality Roundup. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Would high taxes on sugary treats actually change your mind about them? Your comments next.
Hi, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now. Happy Thursday. We're so glad you're here with us. We've got a lot of exciting things happening at Daily Blast Live, so we're happy you're here. Let's go to the desk and see what's going on with our host. Hi, guys.
Heard about
What's happening
I got you.
up here?
Doesn't that kind of open your mind?
I got you, boo. What's going on?
I
Hey,
think some people think, oh, that's just how she is.
my tablet is, and I don't know why I call it a
Sam's
tablet. My tablet's dead, so I can't read any comments.
I'll read some.
Archer Border, read his.
Okay, Archer Border says, I love. Is that your real name? That's really cool.
Coolest name ever.
That sounds like an indie bookstore.
Yeah.
Archer Border says, I love the show. I like people's opinions. Thank you. And
Rachel
mine-
Braxton wrote you and said, Al is the best, ... Snooze fest.
Why don't you let him finish his comment?
That was the end of it, I read it.
Yeah, you stepped all over it.
It was. He had a couple more words in there.
No, there
Just
weren't.
jumped right in.
That was the end
I
of
want to
his
hear you
comment.
guys' opinion on this. April Duke
we were
says,
talking.
this is on vaping. I smoke a pack of cigarettes and I get more out of the cigarette. I used a vape pen before and I didn't like it. I'm 54. So glad the president is going to do something good. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are saying on the YouTube and Facebook that a lot of these people seem to have gotten it from the black market. And while that is true, and people modify
I heard they're
vapes,
called home brews.
yeah, home brews. That's true.
I recently just heard that.
Yeah, but really do know that some of these people didn't do that, and or so they said, they did get it from regulated places. So I don't want to give the impression they are all from on the street, but a lot of
the
these.
equivalent of like moonshine?
It is, and they could be a tainted batch, which they're trying to figure out. Now it's either propylene glycol, vitamin E, he's falling asleep, vitamin E acetate, or distillates that go into your lungs.
It's funny because we fall asleep at the same thing. So every time you said that, I was like.
I said with 3 syllables, and they're like, I'm out.
Have you guys ever seen that show?
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. If you're trying to lose weight, a new study says taxing sugary snacks might be the solution. Research from the UK's 2016 tax on soda suggests that by placing a 20% tax on sweets like chocolates, cookies, and cakes would not only decrease the sale of these pound packing treats, it will also lower the amount of calories we consume. So DBL Nation, are you willing to pay a sugar tax to promote weight loss? Take it away, Al.
All right, Sam. Tammy from YouTube says, if the results from taxing soda in the UK have stats that will help prove that people lose weight, then why not? I don't, Tammy, because sometimes people don't want to be told to lose weight. I think that you get into trouble when you start telling people what to do. I think gently suggesting could be an issue, could be more helpful. But once you start telling people what to do, and if they don't, you're going to hit them in the pocketbook, people aren't going to be feeling that.
Owen from Facebook says, I'm not overweight, nor do I eat a ton of sugar. I shouldn't have to be taxed when I do crave a dessert. Owen, I get your...
I can never spell dessert, by the way.
I always say desert.
There's two S's because you want
more dessert. I did.
Oh, I never knew that rule.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, thank you.
I'm glad we're all educated adults here. I just want to say, even though you might not need a fire truck in your life, you still pay taxes for fire trucks. So there's an idea of democracy that we're all paying to help each other out. There's an epidemic, and this might be a way to curb that because we're all paying for obesity and Medicaid. However, I think because, speaking of desert, there's so many food deserts out there, and this will criminalize a group of people who just can't afford a pepper that's organic. I don't think this is a great idea.
I like it. You lost me at the end there.
Yeah,
all right.
I always do.
Rhea from Facebook says, anyone who is for the ban of vaping should also be in favor of a sugar tax. It's about saving lives, not judgment. Here's my thing. The government pretends like they care about us and this is such a great idea. Meanwhile, they're putting money in their pockets. Not a great idea at all.
Where's that tax money going?
Exactly.
It would be awesome if that tax money was going to help provide resources to some of those food deserts and make sure that they had healthier options. Right. And if that's the case, then maybe I'd be behind it, but I want to know where that tax dollars are going to.
Yeah.
That's
good point.
I didn't think about that.
Ray from Facebook says, great, now I have to go look for an Oreo cookie or Twinkie dealer in a shady parking lot.
I'll be in line too.
Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I want to know where the tax dollars are going because I do think that sugar is an epidemic. I do think that it does cause a lot of disease.
And let's not dance around it, Sam. It's addictive.
It's
There's
very
a lot
addictive.
of people that are addicted to sugar.
So
some people don't have options.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that we need to be more resourceful where that money's going. I wonder where it would be going.
I think it's going to, remember the Pentagon with $8,000 toilets, how they found that out? Stuff like that is going into like red tape, to be honest.
I don't know. The government, listen, I know DUIs kill a lot of people, but there's a lot of money involved in DUIs, okay? So when they set up those checkpoints, they're cashing in.
Oh, yeah, it's business.
$10
It's a high business. Yep.
Coming up on DBL, have you ever had a thing for a sexy cartoon character? Don't lie. We'll tell you, wait till you find out how many of us fantasize about them. And reactions are mixed when a real housewife comes out with a brand new perfume. The shade is very real in Reality Roundup.
People writing in asking about where their DBL is. So Sue Bruce, I'm going to look into Atlanta giving up one station spot. They have 3 so I can watch, faithful YouTube watcher. And then Kelly Clarkson I know has come on and is sort of...
Kelly Clarkson.
Do you know she had him on?
Did she
Isn't that
say
hilarious? Yeah, she had Steve Carell on. We're getting 16 new markets. There's going to be a lot of new changes, but I'm trying to figure out if we've lost any, and if so, I'll make sure to look into it. I'm kind of that OCD person, so I'm glad you guys went to me. And thanks for writing in for people who've never written in before. This is the Faith oh no, she's written it before. Good talk, Tori. Sierra Bergman just said she got back from the hospital and she saw her new baby niece. Mazel tov. And Sierra Bergman also says she's trying to detox from sugar. Have you detoxed or no from your challenge?
Huh?
I'm so glad he's paying attention.
I don't eat a lot of sugar.
Right, but did you used to?
No.
Oh, you've never eaten sugar?
No. Once in a while, I'll get like a sweet tooth and like get a key lime pie or something.
But not like,
I'd rather,
like, my mom's a sweet person. Like,
see, I'm
constantly.
not. I'd rather have like
I like salty
cheese for dessert.
You are kind of a cheeseaholic.
I am.
If you were in a world, and there's one cheese, what cheese would it be? And I need you to like think about this. Formaggio.
Asiago cheese is up there for me, but if you have one cheese, maybe like a fresh mozzarella
for
or
sandwiches,
a Munster.
Okay, right.
Welcome back to DBL. It's the part of the show where we obsess over our favorite reality TV moments. That's right, everybody. It's time for Reality Roundup. Yes. First up on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Are you okay there,
I'm
Tori?
fine,
Okay,
thank you.
hang in there. Hang in there. Karen's long-awaited signature scent is here, and the reviews are in. Check it out.
Oh, it smells good. Oh, yes. In my mind, I'm about a good 32, 35, tops 36 years old. But after I got sprayed down, I'm about 73, 74. I became a grandma.
My mom will love it.
Ooh, Erica, fill us in.
See, Giselle needs to quit because Giselle just started her own company and it's in cosmetics. Okay. And I think it's bad juju to talk about somebody else's startup and you're trying to do something for yourself as well.
Uplift, right?
You should be supportive.
Yes.
Plus, Wendy Williams was on Watch What Happens Live and she tried La Dame.
What'd she say?
And she said it's actually very light. Ooh. So it can't be for old ladies because old ladies tend to have a stronger, heavier
You're right.
The
smell.
gardenias. Okay. Like that kind of a scent?
Right.
True.
Sure. Next up on the Real Housewives of Orange County, Vicki is back to her old antics. Throw shade, then deflect, on repeat. Enjoy.
Bronwyn, Boring Wyn, is going...
What'd you call her?
Somebody said her name was Boring Wyn.
No, you just said it.
No, I repeated something.
Oh, we have you...
Oh, don't. So what? So what? So what? So what?
Vicki can't help herself. Like, she loves to talk, and then she's like, what? That's what I heard.
Vicki is dirty. Erica, she's always been one to stir the pot and say things and then deflect, but I feel like this season it's crossed the line.
People are getting it. People are catching on.
Right. You can only play the same song so many times before people start to learn the lyrics.
Right.
You know? I mean, this woman has the habit, and they did, I love when they show the receipts because they did a whole back thing. 5 different examples of her saying, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Man.
Girl, just own it.
Yeah.
Just own it. We know you shady boots. Just be shady in our faces.
Shady boots. And finally on MTV's The Challenge, things heat up when 2 players face off in a very physical loser goes home competition. Check it out.
All right, boys, get ready. Fire! Get up!
Here, grab the ball and run.
Well, if you watched further, there's a scene in which they start bashing each other in the face.
What do you mean?
Instead of the ball. And you can just see these two don't like each other. It's Bear and Wes. And if you follow the challenge, just know that the Americans who are going to throw a UK person in threw their own American in.
Like
I
the
thought there'd be
gauntlet?
like a big moment here, but nothing.
Well, tell me this, though, Tori. Tell me this. What is it about this show that it always ends up in violence?
There's a lot of violence, and there's a lot of security guards on the show. There's a lot of drinking and nothing to do. And I think these people have pent-up adrenaline.
Aggression.
Yeah, well, I enjoy watching. It's fantastic.
Well, this has been Reality Roundup. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Hey guys, welcome to the comment lounge. Kelly, I need silence for the slogan. Ready? Welcome to the comment lounge. Let the good times scroll. Okay,
so being quiet, so I was trying to be quiet.
I'm looking at Alex's own personal Slack. That's not good. Someone said sugar is 1 molecule away from cocaine. This is Rachel Braxton. I don't know if that's true, so we're gonna try to confirm that because that's cray-cray if that's true. Ellis Walker said, I did a double check. DBL is live in Tampa Bay. That's great. We're getting a lot of people writing in about some changes. Kelly and I are so on it. Don't you worry. Happy DD says, totally understand, pal. Sugar addiction is real thing. Tip, when I get the urge to eat sugar, I brush my teeth. Ooh. Good for you. Or she goes for a walk. It really does help the craving go away. Someone else said dried fruit is good. My problem is that the dried fruit is not an Oreo. Like it's not going to be one.
There's a lot of sugar in there, though.
And there is a lot of sugar in dried fruit. My sister recently has to deal with diabetes, and so she has to deal with a lot of dealing with taking the sugar, taking the blood, taking the sugar, taking the blood. And I never paid attention. And now I'm realizing, wow, I was way off with my sugar intake. Even just looking for grams, and you like see it, it's like 14 grams. It's like a Snickers bar. So if you think that's if you're trying to eat healthy, and it says that, and then a soda, that's like 10 Snickers bars. So just have a Snickers bar. No, I'm just kidding. Just be careful. You don't go over. And then look at the grams. It's important to educate. Margot, the new tagline is actually from Michael Loveland, so I have to cite him every time. I should have done that. My bad. I apologize, Michael Loveland. It was an amazing, amazing choice. We do want to ask you if there's no, this is a really weird question, hypothetical. The whole world runs out of cheese except for one type. What type of cheese would you have stay? Now, Jeffrey, who is our biggest cheese eater, said Asiago. I would say cheddar. He's more of a white cheese guy, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. So write in saying cheese great. Does that make sense? Cheese great? I think that's good. That's good. Okay, so write in. Ellis already says Swiss, so we're on our roll. Thanks, guys.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
Because we wouldn't want to do this without you.
So come on in and join the conversation. And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right to it. Ooh, coming Monday. I know we haven't gone anywhere, but coming Monday, September 16th, tune in. We have a lot of great surprises, great guests coming up.
It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
heat.
Good. Heat.
Lots of heat.
Could you give them a little tease what's coming up on Monday?
What do you mean? Like new lineup?
What could they look forward to?
Like a new co-host maybe named Lindsey Granger?
Oh, okay.
Yes! Amazing.
I was trying to put you on the spot.
Big deal. And she succeeded. She did well. She delivered. Good job, Tori. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Demi Moore does something she hasn't done in almost 30 years. Why it's so liberating this time around. Then, it's a real-life case of Groundhog Day. The shocking story of a girl whose brain resets every 2 hours. And cartoon crushes. You won't believe how many Americans actually fantasize about animated characters. When DBL comes back. Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started. Well, 56-year-old Demi Moore is stripping down for Harper's Bazaar magazine. She talks about a time when her mother tried to commit suicide. She says she had to dig the pills my mother had tried to swallow out of her mouth while my father held it open and told me what to do. Something very deep inside me shifted then, and it never shifted back. My childhood was over. That's not all she's talking about. Her memoir, Inside Out, comes out later this month. In it, she talks about the role she played in Hollywood as a woman fighting for pay equality, and she also goes in depth about her marriages to Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher. And then many people on social media, if we could look at the cover again, commending this cover, commending her for, stripping down at 56 years old. But I have to call it what it is. Like, listen, she looks gorgeous. Right. I would trade bodies with her tomorrow. But
would you trade anything for that hat?
That hat's enormous.
Are we not going to mention that?
But it's just, listen, she's been very candid about, and, do you, girl? But she's been very candid about all the plastic surgeries she's had, all the nutritionists, all the trainers. It's just really unrealistic. Most 56-year-olds don't look like, most 25, 35, 40-year-olds don't look like that. You gotta have the nutritionist and the plastic surgeon, and so
do you think these covers of women like this who are famous and have all that money, are they antiquated?
I just think it's so unrealistic because here everyone's applauding her, and they should. I think it's empowering, but at the same time, like, it's so unrealistic. It's so unrealistic.
Let's have a little conversation here, because I'm kind of confused about, I see the feminism, and she's talking about that, and the equal pay, and like, women's bodies aren't here for sexualizing. We talk about all that in your book and in the magazine, but then you appear naked on the cover. Is there a discrepancy there?
I think she's worked very hard on her body, and she sees it as an artful piece of photography. I have no issue with that. Her choice, go on. It doesn't mean you can't show off sexy nudes if you're a feminist at all. It's your choice to do so and not to be ogled at without your choice. So I'm all for this. But I do hear what you're saying. We're in a very transparent time. And her saying, look at me, and not exposing the fact that she's a lot of work done in Photoshop on that picture, it rings a little false to us now because we're so used to the real.
I just think about that compared to Demi Lovato's recent photo shoot, where Demi Lovato was like embracing and she looks gorgeous, and she's embracing everything about her. Cellulite, we all have it, and it feels, I feel like in 2019 it's just a little bit different nowadays.
Yeah, it goes both ways, because you have to think this magazine is trying to sell magazines. Right. And when you want to sell anything, you take an attractive person, male, female, whatever demographic you're trying to go after, and you airbrush them, and you cut the fat off of them, and you put them out there. And it's this weird thing where it's like, so now
this year?
Is everybody supposed to be on TV and camera, like unfiltered and unairbrushed to show authenticity? Or if I'm on the cover of Time magazine, I would like them to do some work. Get the crow's feet out of there. I don't know. I don't want to be natural. So I don't understand. I think it's up to them, but it's also up to the magazine. Like, we're going to put Sam Shocker. We want to put the best version of Sam out there because we want to sell magazines. We're not here to empower women. We're here to sell magazines. So what do you think about that?
The article's all about?
I don't know. The article, see, that's what rings true to me. The article is about her stripping down, meaning she talks about miscarriage with Ashton Kutcher. She talks about the horrific details of the trauma that stunted her childhood when she had to save her own mother's life. So these are the most beautiful, and I say beautiful in a respectful way, beautiful her being honest and transparent with her audience.
And it's a little backwards with this.
It just feels like here you are super stripped down and transparent, and here you are very unrealistic, idealistically, like, manufactured.
Yeah.
So it's just, the juxtaposition just doesn't ring true to me. But I
said the same thing, and you didn't agree with me, but you agreed with Sam.
No, I think she's absolutely right to do so. What she's saying is the difference in the writing of the article isn't what's portrayed on the cover.
I think you're wrong.
Good button, Jeff.
Let's end on that.
Good one. Okay, so have you ever fantasized about a cartoon character? Anybody in the studio? Clap if you have. There's quite a few people that have. Turns out 1 in 4 people have fantasized. Maybe Jessica Rabbit or Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid comes to mind. A new study says people who fantasize about fictional characters are uncomfortable with intimacy, and that 1 in 6 people fantasized about sex with an alien.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
That's weird.
Tori, did you ever sexually fantasize about a cartoon character?
Yes, I did.
Who?
I think you all know him as Tramp from Lady and the Tramp.
The dog?
Now, I found
he
him.
had swagger.
He is so scruffy.
He had swagger.
He's so swag. He can get free food.
Yep.
He knows the ins and outs. His voice is kind of like Lady. Come on.
He's also a dog.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
That's a valid point.
But when you're young, you're watching those types of movies. I watched Howard the Duck. I loved Howard's swagger, so I had a crush on him.
You
I
did?
never sexually fantasized about him. Never. But I did have a crush on him.
The human eyes, though, Sam.
I think you two have a different kind of fetish.
Yes.
No, no. What about you, Jeff?
Well, I mean, the classic. First of all, I don't even sexualize about her, but she's sexy, Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah,
you know
she
what I
is
mean?
sexy.
She's sexy to everyone.
Yeah, she is sexy. Remember when she
Hello,
walked into that
baby.
room? Oh
She got
my
that
gosh.
voice.
Yeah.
And also
what about
for like
you?
a lot of young guys, I think that was the first time that you saw like a really sexy woman and you were able to identify that depending on how old you were when that movie came out. So I don't know. I defend your Jessica Rabbit, not your bestiality.
There you go.
For me, I'll go with Holly from.
I didn't even know if I wanted to say that one.
It is.
You sure did.
Cute. She's
She's
cute.
foxy.
She's very
All right.
cute. I like everyone has
Definitely foxy.
swagger. That seems to be the case
I think.
here.
And
Howard the Duck?
No, but what's interesting about women? Women are more attracted. It's not even the physical; it's the personality.
Yeah, the alpha
So I don't
male.
even. I think Howard the Duck could have been Prince Eric. It could have been a squirrel. It could have been whoever. It was his personality that I was attracted to,
Yeah.
and I think you would say the same thing.
Absolutely.
But
Tramp.
meanwhile, Jessica Rabbit, you're just looking at the body. Don't.
She had great personality.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
She had her masters.
Can I ask you something? She definitely didn't. Is Jessica Rabbit a rabbit?
No, she's
No,
a
that's just her
person.
last name.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no ears or
Okay.
tail there,
I was
Tori.
just checking.
All right.
Are we
Moving
just
on.
Okay.
What?
Where would she be a rabbit?
I thought maybe you just said a bunny tail and I missed it the whole time.
The whole time that
Yeah.
was never
I
brought up.
apologize. I didn't know.
She's married to Roger Rabbit, you guys. That's why she was called Jessica Rabbit. Did you not watch the movie?
I did. I didn't think about that.
All right. Let's move on.
Tori would like to morph as an animal.
This is a story that will absolutely blow your mind. Every morning, a teenager wakes up and can't remember anything after only 2 hours. She accidentally got kicked in the head back on June 11th, but doctors don't know what's wrong. She says, I have a calendar on my door, and I look, and it's September, and I'm like, whoa. I can't, I mean, this is like we've seen movies, where they make light of this, whether it be Groundhog's Day or 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. But living this, you cannot progress as a person if every 2 hours, everything you just learned is completely reverted back to June 11th.
Yeah, it's
heartbreaking.
Could you imagine the parents too?
No. Any memories?
I feel for the girl, but you have to relive that moment and tell her every single day.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a very famous case that you guys, if you took a 101 psychology class, you heard about HM, the patient HM. He had no short-term memory because of something that happened during surgery. Every day, his therapist introduced himself. He fell in love with his wife every day.
Wow.
So it's an incredibly hard thing for the families to go through.
Was he ever able to regain?
Never.
Okay, because the doctors with her,
they see they might, right?
And we're also talking about this, like, can you imagine? I think unfortunately, a lot of Americans are dealing with somebody that's undergoing some form of dementia.
Right. Yep.
And
Alzheimer's.
Yes, and it's very scary and it's sad, and the people are not the people that you remember them to be. So I think a lot more people can relate to this, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yep. Wow. Well, coming up on DBL, we've got an unbeatable price on this faux snake handbag. Perfect for fall. Don't miss our DBL deal blast. And Shawn Mendes and Kibeho turn up the heat on Instagram, but is their post just a social media fail? That's coming up next.
Also agree, she thought Jessica Rabbit was also a rabbit, so it wasn't just me. I just think maybe she had small ears or something. Okay.
They're a good person.
Good talk.
In the South, they say bless your heart.
Michael Loveland says, Sam, Howard the Duck was created by writer Steve Gerber and artist Val Myerick. Steve passed in 2008.
Oh, wow.
So that's interesting. You guys have a cartoon background.
Who wrote that in?
Michael Loveland.
Did you know that off the top of your head, Michael Loveland? Or
We
did you
would like to
Google
know
that?
about that. I'd also like to go to cheese. Yeah, did you know that? Write us in. That's a good point.
Thanks, Tori.
We also asked you if there's only one cheese left in this world, what cheese would you do? And we got a lot of answers. Gail Boyer, who hasn't written in, says Monterey Jack. What do you think about that one? No?
I'm sticking with mozzarella.
Margot says pepper
Fresh
jack.
mozzarella.
Subaru's also pepper jack. Sierra Bergman, mozzarella. We say dry dates. That's not a cheese.
What's Gruyere? What's Gruyere?
Gruyere. Yeah.
That's a hell of a
like
cheese.
a brie also.
Yeah, but you can't do a lot of things with it.
No, you can't. You're right.
If you had to have one cheese, Bert, what would you have the rest of your life? There's only one cheese.
Oh, it would be cheddar, probably.
Yeah,
Sharp cheddar.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I like smoked.
I'm a white cheese guy.
I feel like white cheese doesn't have as much flavor. I feel like that's a complimentary cheese. Like
Have you ever
if
had Asiago?
What about cream cheese?
Oh
Nobody
yeah,
likes cream
Asiago's
cheese?
got some.
I don't
I always feel like white cheese goes with mac and cheese, like it blends well with other cheeses.
Oh. I don't know. Is cream cheese cheese?
Well, isn't cheese cream?
Yeah.
Cheese is cream too.
Yeah.
Burrata mozzarella for you? Okay, so far you guys, mozzarella is winning. If you have a strong and you want to be Gouda about it, you'll write in.
Please come back.
Welcome back to DBL. Being a celebrity is not always a walk in the park. Sure, there's the fame and the fortune, but one slip up on social media and they may never live it down. Like Kristen Cavallari, for example. The Laguna Beach star posted this photo yesterday with the caption, NYC for 24 hours. What a time to be here. Always remember. Yeah, her 9/11 tribute rubbed people the wrong way. Cavallari ended up firing her social media staffer because of the backlash. Yeah, you don't make 9/11 about you in a sexy dress.
Yeah,
like either post that photo with a completely different caption or post the caption that she chose with a photo of an American flag.
That's what happens when you hire somebody to put out your image and your thoughts. It's you really don't have a filter, especially since you didn't have a setup where it's like, let me see what you're about to post before you do it.
Right.
And you know, just in some kind of weird defense for whoever she hired, maybe if somebody's a social media guru, chances are they're a person of a certain age, and maybe just 9/11 didn't have the same. I was in grad school when 9/11 happened.
Right.
If you were 4, you know
really
it was tragic, but you don't like have memories
impact
of it. So it's just kind of like it's like our Pearl Harbor. We know it was bad, but we don't have any like I remember where I was.
Fair point. Yeah. Next, we have fellow pop stars Shawn Mendes and Kamiya Kibeho. These two lovebirds are no stranger to the spotlight. Remember their performance at the Video Music Awards last month?
No.
It was their lack of chemistry. Yep, there it is. That made headlines. So the famous couple decided to address haters in a very interesting way with a bizarre video of them kissing, if you can even call it kissing. It's weird. Prepare yourselves. Hit it.
We saw like on Twitter and stuff, you guys saying stuff about the way we're kissing and how it looks weird, like we kiss like fish. We just want to show you how we really kiss.
Yeah.
She's a gigantic, she's a tiny head and huge hair.
Oh, God. Just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, get over yourself.
What are you doing?
What? I mean,
Get over yourself.
after you film that and you're like, hey, Camila, whatever her name is, you think we should post this? Yeah, definitely.
Put it up there. And there's no music, so it's just like the tongue sounds.
That's just two people that are, in my opinion, like really full of themselves.
Yeah, again, what do I always say? You got to keep one real friend around.
Yeah.
And these people are super famous. Everything they do, people are like, I love you, you're an
so
inspiration,
funny,
you're the
so
best.
this. This is
You need
hilarious.
one friend that doesn't care how many followers you have. It's like, that looks crazy, take it down. They're like, no, it looks cool. It's like, no, I've been your friend since 2nd grade. You look insane, take it down, you're embarrassing yourself. You need I pay that person like on the payroll to just have somebody around and be like, you look crazy right now.
Good person on the payroll.
That's a real friend
really
to have.
good position. And finally, Halle Berry is getting roasted for a picture of her hand. Followers were quick to point out that her hand might need a little moisture. One person likened them to construction worker hands. Halle clapped back by saying, I knew someone was going to crack on the hand. Please, you guys, it looks like we all have wrinkly hands. And it's Halle Berry. Like, the girl doesn't have a wrinkle on her, minus her wrinkly hands that we all have. Yeah.
I thought you said she didn't have a wrinkle on her.
It's minus. We all have wrinkles on our our palms.
I think it's fine, but I think anybody's gonna. First of all, if you look at a picture of a butterfly and attack somebody's hand, you have bigger problems.
Yeah.
You know, like life is. You're missing the whole point.
Yeah.
But you know, honestly, first of all, Halle's from Cleveland, so she can do no wrong, in my opinion. But also, like people do, when you get to that level, people care about everything you do.
Yeah, but have you ever sat down, looked at a photo, and wrote something negative to somebody?
I've never seen a movie that stunk and been like, hey, Rock, you suck.
I know.
Like I've never put a Yelp review out of somewhere where I've been. Like it's great. You know,
Yelp
that's
review.
fun.
Do you think that that's weird?
It's
Kinda.
time consuming.
Kinda.
If I had a really good meal, I want people to know, and if I had a really bad meal, I want people to know.
I just tip them an extra couple bucks and I'll be back.
All right. Well, I use Yelp a lot to base my own opinion, so
That's
I thought
good.
I'd help contribute.
Good for you. I'm glad there's people like you because I do look at
Jeff, do you look at reviews? I just started like.
I do. I look at reviews.
For a new place, I actually do. But that's totally different than the social media thing because it's insane that somebody posts a picture of their hands and someone has to make fun
Construction
of them.
worker hands. Mean.
What's wrong with being a construction worker?
Mean. I know. Those are some hardworking hands.
That's right.
Coming up on DBL, we're saving you money on hot products, including compression socks that look good and feel good too. Get holiday shopping done early in our DBL Deal Blast.
Here at the DBL Digital team, I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news, and we do have a story that's trending quite high right now. South Park has just been renewed for another 3 seasons, 30 episodes in each season, so quite a lot. This means that they're the longest running primetime scripted series in cable, which is also TV's longest running animated series after The Simpsons, of course, and it will run through at least a 26th season, so that'll be 327 episodes total. They will surpass their 300th episode coming up on the 23rd season, which will start this month on September 25th. So DBL Nation, I have to know, do you watch South Park? I haven't watched it in a couple years, but I think I will start watching it again. One thing I love about it is that it's topical, so it's actually stuff we're talking about here on the show, and then we get to see comedy about it, so it's pretty fun. They were asking me earlier if I could do a South Park voice, so I was trying really hard, so it's, hey Cal. Hey Cal, what's up? That's the best I can do. Anyways, guys, let us know if you watch this show and if you think it should have been renewed. Bye.
Lifestyle expert Miss Denise Plant is in the house, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for DBL Deal Blast, where we've teamed up with morningsave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. And I'm checking out these products that you brought here today, and I'm getting this festival vibe.
Yes,
it all can feel a little festival-y, starting with these compression socks, because if you're flying somewhere and you swell like I do, you're gonna need something like this.
And they're fun to travel with, and they're also, if you have problems sleeping at night, tingling in the legs, this will help. It's the 6-pack Extreme Fit XTF Copper Compression Socks. Now it's unisex knee-long socks. It improves circulation and it reduces swelling. I do honestly think they're so cute. Remember the knee highs when we were younger?
Yes.
I'm sorry, compression socks can be a little sexy now, ladies.
Yes, and that's important, especially for those of us who we like to be a little fashionable when we travel. How much are we talking?
Makes a difference. Normally as much as $90, but today only $20, savings up to 78% off.
Wait, $20 for all of these or just for the pair?
No, $20 for the 6-pack.
Okay, y'all do the math, but that math is good. Now, once you've landed to whatever city your festival's in, it's really important that you keep your valuables close to the body. So I love the crossbody bag for this.
Yeah.
And these are super stylish. Tell me more about them.
They're so cute.
They are cute.
They make me want to do the happy dance.
Yeah,
It's the Moto Luxadel 4-in-1 reversible crossbody bag. It has different pockets, so you can keep all your important things close by, like your cell phone, your credit cards, and lipstick. Just a girl,
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. Are these going to break the budget so there's nothing to actually put in the bag?
No. And there's one thing that I want to show you here if you get a close-up. Look, it has a little magnet when you open it up. Isn't that cute?
Wow.
So you think, yeah, oh, it's pink, but bam, there's the pop-up.
That is amazing.
And then the other side has a different color, so I just wanted to show you that. So normally, as much as $70, I would pay that for one of these crossbody bags.
Me too.
But now, only $25, savings up to 64% off.
25 bucks, and you're essentially getting 3 different bags in one, so you can coordinate the different colors with your different outfits.
Just a girl.
All right. Being just a girl, we get the earthly vibes and wanting to get back to nature and doing some muddy things with our beautiful faces. Okay, at the end of the night, when we're trying to take care of ourselves, what are we gonna do?
My kids walked in on me and they saw this mud mask on my face. They literally looked at me and went, Dad, she's finally lost it. And they look kind of funny, but it feels so good and it's great for your face. It's the 2-pack Earth Vibes Dead Sea Exfoliating Mud Mask. This, my friends, improves skin health thanks to Dead Sea mud, which contains a plethora of minerals. So it moisturizes, it heals, and it reverses age in the skin.
Well, I just have to say to your boys, you haven't lost it, you actually gained it because you found the fountain of youth, honey.
Aww.
How much is the fountain of youth costing us?
I love coming here. As much as $40 normally, which is totally worth it, but because we're at Deal Blast today, we are going to do it $15, savings up to 63% off.
$15. I'm telling you, you can't even go to like the cheapest place and get a mask done for that because they charge you out the wazoo, whatever the wazoo is. Okay, so we're at the festival. We have all of our essentials, and now we want to take some photos. I personally am so excited that this is back on Deal Blast.
Obsessed.
Because I use this all the time. Tell us more about it.
What do you take pictures with these lenses?
Because, so the lenses can go farther out,
yes,
really close in, but you don't have to move your phone in order to do that. And you know, like for selfies when you're like this,
yes,
and you can only get like 2.5 people in it, that takes care of it for you.
That was a test to see if you were really using the 5-piece lens kit.
Of course I'm using it. Of course.
You passed. It's the 2-pack Power to Go 5-in-1 Universal Lens Kit Bundle, which includes carrying case, and it's a 5-in-1 detachable lens. Normally, you would pay a high price for this.
Yeah, I know. There's so much you can do with your phones, but you need some professional equipment, and so I feel like that's going to be a professional price.
Normally as much as $100, but now $15 for a 2-pack, savings up to 85% off today for Deal Blast.
$15 for a 2-pack, so now you can get one for you and your Instagram husband, okay? No more excuses, honey.
I didn't know we were talking about Instagram husbands today.
Yeah, well, we always talk about that because, you know, you're responsible for taking the photos. All right, so we have all of our essentials for the festival and at really great prices. Yep. Miss Denise Plant, thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
She's our lifestyle expert, and she hooks us up with all the products. So head over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Miss Denise Plant.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional.
Hey, welcome back to Beauty Blast, guys. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and while we're here, let's go ahead and pull up those search bars, type in J-A-R-A-Y for the Slay, all one word, my friends, on all your social media platforms so we can be friends. Back to business. Welcome back to Beauty Blast, guys. Today, we're talking about some red light beauty tips and some of my favorite ways to save some time while you're getting ready. Today, though, I want to talk about traveling with your beauty tips. Now, when you're traveling with your beauty products, it's important not to overpack. Now, I know, anything could happen while you're on vacation, whether you're at the beach, in the mountains, whatever you may. You want to make sure that you have everything that you need, but you don't need to overpack. So that's why I went ahead and made a little list for us so that we all know the expectation and that we're not just carrying a toolkit around with us, okay? Now, number one, you want to bring the eye essentials. So some of my eye essentials are going to be a mascara, Full size or travel size is okay. If you need a travel size, check your local Sephora, or even ask at a counter if there might be a sample size that you can try out before your actual vacation, okay? So you can do a travel size mascara, you can do a little bit of an eyeliner. I prefer to do a pencil liner when I'm traveling, just because it's going to help to make sure that you have more flexibility with your looks. Now, another thing that I would recommend for eyes is one eyeshadow stick. Choose one and just make it neutral. So this way you can kind of be more flexible with your looks, whether it be more of a bronze, a blush color, or cream. You can kind of have a little bit more diversity with your looks by using a blush or bronzer, which we'll get to next. Now, another thing that you can do is get an all-in-one blush, bronzer, and highlight palette. These guys are great to make sure that you're all ready to go for any look. And last but not least, don't forget a tinted moisturizer. It has your SPF and your hydration. So guys, let me know if these beauty tips worked for your travel, and go ahead and write me in at Dre for the Slay on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'm sure we'll connect soon. We'll see you guys next time.
Welcome to DBL. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. Let's get started.
The people that we need to lead won't lead because they wouldn't stoop to the mudslinging that you would have to do to get elected.
Well, if we do nothing, expect everyone to go insane.
Straight people have never been stoned and tried to be killed for being straight.
I'm actually in shock watching that video.
There's two completely different narratives. I don't think we have enough information.
This is that social injustice that Colin Kaepernick took a knee for.
And if you want it to be a bad thing, you only want Trump to be wrong, and that's not good.
That's how you get out of quicksand, Al.
Oh, good. I'll take that with me never.
You know what this battle needs is more cowl neck.
I've hurt myself. You can be rich and still humble like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Sorry.
Oh, there you are.
That's embarrassing.
I'm done. It was their child in school, and that's the reality. Like, my heart broke.
The only thing that really gave me joy in this life is when I see my kids and I can hug them.
Until recently, I felt like I was one of the only ones.
And they said, you're making this up to your mom?
Oh, I love that.
Big day on Monday. September 16th. Make sure you be tuning in because we got a lot of cool stuff. Tori's into it.
I like that slow-mo so much.
I know, we feel cool.
I feel very cool.
I know.
Look great.
Any comments? Yes?
Brandon Dansby, who's never written in, writes, Tori. I identify with your childhood. My best friend's father is also a lawyer, and we too played lawyer in court. When we disagreed, we went to court, and her father was the judge.
There you go. You're not alone.
Two exciting childhoods.
Yeah. There's more of you out there.
Brandy!
I play Constitution.
I think that's cute. That's great.
I'll be the Fifth Amendment.
Good for you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Very Tori. Very on brand. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Happy Thursday.
Guys, it's time for Between the Show with Shuby and...
No, I got this.
It's time for Between the Show with Shuby and...
Hold on, I gotta do this thing.
Me.
And Schroeder! Here he is. So we're here to talk about Mike, the situation, Sorrentino, that's how I say it, right?
Yeah.
He just got released from jail today. He served his time for tax evasion, 8 months. He finally got out of jail. Jeff, I'm obsessed with Jersey Shore, and Mike is actually one of my favorite characters. He used to do a lot of drugs, alcohol. Now he's sober. He's a really positive person. I think he's doing some motivational speaking too, if I'm correct. But Jeff knows him. They were on a TV show together. So how excited are you about this?
Oh, I'm super happy. I knew Mike, so I did a show called Marriage Boot Camp 2-3 years ago. I don't even know now. But so he was in the house, so I got to spend 2 weeks with him. So that's how I know. We're not like best friends, but he's a great guy. So I knew Mike after all the drugs. He was clean. clean. He was sober. He didn't drink.
Super positive person.
Super positive. He told me all about his past, about the Jersey Shore days. Very open with me. So we bonded like at night, just talking about stuff. He was a great guy, like great guy.
And
so
Lauren's
like,
cool too, right?
Lauren's awesome.
Yeah,
And
she seems
they
awesome.
Lauren and Mike actually were dating way before.
Way before, like in high school. They were like high school
And
sweethearts.
then, he went through all that stuff, and we talked about all
she
that.
stood by his side,
he goes, you
yeah.
don't understand, man. You wake up one day, and you're super famous. Like, their fame was crazy,
It did. It blew
and
up.
millions
Jersey
of
Shore blew up.
dollars.
Yep.
And so that's how he kind of spiraled out of control, but they got
Makes
his life
sense.
back together, went back to his first girlfriend. Now they kind of living the
Yep,
dream
he got
right now.
sober, and then the tax evasion thing happened a little later, so he did get sentenced for that. He spent 8 months in prison, but he's out. He said, I think Leo has the picture, he said they're going to be working on having... we wish them the best. Congrats, Mike.
Yeah.
Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's September 12th and it's Thursday. I'm here with Erica, Tori, Al. I'm Jeff. Let's jump right in, guys. There's a new plan to ban the sale of most flavored e-cigarettes right now. The Trump administration said yesterday it would ban the sale of the controversial products. Teen use has been on the rise, worrying many health officials. There have been nearly 500 cases of vaping-related respiratory illnesses and 6 deaths. Here is what one teen and his mom said after a year and a half of vaping.
My lungs were that of a 7-year-old's.
To know that my son's lungs, 18 years old, healthy, an athlete, typical 18-year-old boy, to be laying in a bed and not being able to breathe, and it's every parent's nightmare.
There you go. I mean, we really don't know the effects of these e-cigarettes because they're so new.
Yeah, and now here's the deal. A lot of people writing us in all day today saying, look, if this saved me from cigarettes, and it's a horrible, horrible thing that cigarettes do to people, and if you take it away, I'm not going to have anything to do but go back to cigarettes. So I do understand that. The flavoring to the kids is what really bothers me. The bubble gum, the mango, those things.
Any fruity flavor.
Any
right.
fruity flavor, I get that. But here is the Shannon Watts, the founder of Gun Control Moms Demand Action. She says, 100 Americans are shot and killed every day. At least 7 of them are children every day. I realize the tobacco lobby didn't give your campaign $30 million like the NRA, but gun violence is also a national crisis.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so prompt, you know?
That's the
I have to
thing,
bring that
though.
up.
I mean, it's like we come in and it's like a national state of emergency over vaping. And not that 6 people isn't a lot. I mean, 1 death is too many. Of course. But in the grand scheme of between gun violence, let's just bring it back, not even talk about guns. Alcohol.
Yeah.
How many teens lose their lives from drinking and driving or something that has to do with overconsumption of alcohol?
Yeah.
Alcohol is not intended for people under 21, yet somehow people under 21 get it.
Yeah.
Vapes aren't intended for people under 21. Yet they get it. So why is one a priority
and
over
Erica,
the other?
You're also, your point, money. You're missing a huge thing to go along with the point you just made. What does alcohol have in terms have like with Juul? Flavoring of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
There's birthday cake flavored vodka. There's strawberry flavored. There's orange flavored Bacardi. Who's that for? Me and Jeff? You think we're sitting down having some strawberry flavored vodka? No, that's for kids. So let's keep it 100 about how you market towards people.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's Erica's point.
Yeah, that's a good point. But to go back quickly, I don't want to get into the whole gun thing, but 6 deaths. I know where you're going with this. And there's mass shootings over 250 this year.
7 children die a day from guns.
I mean, it's a whole nother conversation, but the president's striking after 6 deaths.
Right, and I'm glad that he's being prompt.
Yes, I know, and I don't even mean to call it the president. It's just we could go down a whole nother rabbit hole.
Right, but you think if this was so prompt, could we not do something prompt on the crisis, even a background check, even pushing forward 1 piece of legislation for this amount? I mean,
because
go ahead.
Well,
I think it's also important that everyone keeps saying we don't know the effects, we don't know, and that's true.
Right.
However, we also don't know what exactly, when someone says they're vaping, which is different from Juul, because you have a different degree. Juul is what, a pack of cigarettes, and you can only get one type of flow.
Right.
Where if you do a different vape, you could actually like control it.
Yeah, people modify.
Some people are making home brews.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of other things going on. So I don't know if we should just start to like, you know, march in the streets over vapes at this point.
I feel you.
I gotcha.
I feel you.
All right, guys, a couple who had struggled with infertility is suing right now. This story's crazy. The couple convinced a daughter after turning to a the couple got a daughter after turning to a fertility clinic for help. But they say their daughter shares only half their DNA. They claim she was given sperm from a man who was not her husband. Let's hear it from him.
You want to have a child, and you can't have one, and then finally you're able to. It was upsetting. It was very confusing.
I can't even imagine. I mean,
this is two Caucasian people, just so you know, who had they're having they have an Asian baby. And it's not only confusing for them because where is his sperm, another child, but also for that child to be like, who did I come from? I mean, that's the way he said it, it's confusing and it should be better regulated, and it is not. So
and
we're hearing more
no regulations.
Very little.
I just learned that today. That was crazy to me that there was no regulations.
They're on their own. Yeah.
And consider, like, you know, this is so aesthetically glaring that you could tell the difference just by looking. But how many people are we going to find out have been in this situation?
Yeah.
I just finished a Netflix show, and it's called Sisters, about this thing where the doctor actually used his own samples. But I know a real case of that. So I'm wondering, are we going to, like 10, 15 years from now, have all of these people who have no idea where they came from when they truly believe that they did? And it sucks because the reason why you're in that office anyway is because this is one of your last hopes.
I know.
So you're preying on desperate people who probably don't necessarily know because everything is so new, unregulated. It's really, it's
also,
criminal.
I know we got to keep it moving, but let's not forget, you know, Erica, if I have a restaurant and you come in and you don't like the food, you never come back, you leave a Yelp review, hey, I made a mistake, the milk was spoiled, whatever, we move on with life. There's now a child on the planet that they're responsible for that has a genetic disorder. They are now divorced, so whose responsibility is that to raise that child? Whose responsibility is it to raise that child? And looking at the age of them and just the natural progression of how life works, now you're going to have a human being on the planet that after those parents pass on, now who's responsible for this child that no one really anticipated to begin with? There's the cascading domino effect of all this is just really scary. And I feel like this is more than just like a, oops, we're sorry, we'll give you 50 grand. This is decades of a huge mistake.
Yeah, and then her real father's out there somewhere, and then who knows if he has another child. So like you said, it just
ripples.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for filling in that word, wordsmith. All right, social media is putting Kobe Bryant on blast right now after he called out a middle schooler. Here's what happened, okay? He posted this photo of his daughter's basketball team from 2 years ago. He singled out a girl who wasn't in the photo, saying she missed the game for a dance recital, and people didn't like that at all. So he edited the caption saying she enjoyed dance more than ball, which is fine. Now she eats, sleeps, and breathes the game, but it all started for Kobe when he posted this picture of the team's win after losing in the past, and they're winning big. That scoreboard says 115-27.
That is a big win.
Kobe's a major influence on this team.
Yeah, you can tell it's Kobe because you know he's still full court pressing in the fourth quarter to get it up to one. He had no mercy.
What are people hating on?
Because we're supposed to look at children's sports as just like a, hey, have fun and get some exercise and meet some friends. But I think he's giving them a valuable lesson in life, and we don't want to talk about it as adults because we all kind of we look at childhood as a special, perfect thing, and it shouldn't be touched. But like, kids need to learn, like, you need to go out there looking for blood. I don't care. I'm sorry. Fourth grade, you better be out there like, we're gonna put 100. We're gonna put 100 points on these girls. We're gonna put a C note on this other team.
And also,
that's how you need to approach everything in life. Like, we're about to destroy you. I'm about to destroy this interview. That's how you should approach everything in life.
To be honest, also not just teams, but girls' teams in particular, I think people are very soft on, or they think they should be soft on. Whereas girls mature faster than men could really have a good time getting a competitive streak, and it could be a valuable lesson.
I'm with Al. My dad used to tell me, like, you need to be 10 times faster, work 10 times harder.
Wow.
If it was an A, it needed to be an A+. There was no settling for anything. But really, when
and where you at now?
Yeah,
and I appreciate that. But at the same time, like, I worked in an NBA arena for 4 or 5 seasons, and honestly, a lot of the drive, the way that I approach things professionally comes from that. You have people who have dedicated their entire lives from the moment they wake up to the time they go to sleep to their career. If we all thought of our careers that way, like our life's purpose, how extraordinary could we all be? And that he's instilling that in them right now.
These daughters, it's a
How
great
awesome is that? Like, they're getting advice from one of the best basketball players that ever walked the planet, and people are criticizing that? It's like, I'm with you. I don't understand, like, the mentality of mediocre. Like, everyone just has to be mediocre, and we have to participate in that. If you want to be better, you have to get talked to like that. Your coaches have to be tough on you. You have to go through hard lessons. You have to fall on your face and get back up 100 more times. People don't want to be talked to like that. My son's not, I don't want to be, just give him a 10th place ribbon. No, you're not learning anything that way. Get tough.
I love
How's out for blood?
I feel like you're talking to me. You're like firing me up. I feel like it's halftime. I'm like, let's do it.
That's why you guys get after it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it, Kobe. Give me some advice. All right, DBL's live, and coming up, Demi Moore is holding nothing back in the latest issue of Harper's Bazaar, but it's the cover that's turning heads. Plus,
that's what we heard. Huh? That's what we heard.
I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't start it.
There was a rumor that I repeated.
Okay, Vicky,
I never would say that.
Vicky. Wait till she starts spreading rumors about you.
ooh, it seems like the longest-running housewife just can't keep quiet. Is Vicki Gunvalson stirring the pot again? Oh, reality roundup coming up. And you, the viewer, are the fifth host. Would high taxes on surgery treats or sugary treats actually change your mind about eating them? Your comments are next.
Those look good.
Treats. Hey guys, what's going on? Of course, I didn't mean gaping. I meant vaping. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people.
Oh man, I missed that.
I know. Well, I wrote it, so you wouldn't get to make fun of it. But a lot of people said, if you guys didn't see, Trump was with the first lady yesterday, and said, kind of weird. He was like, she's got a son.
I took it out.
Which is also his son, and then he goes together. But that who's a beautiful boy, and the first lady has really spearheaded this. So it seems to me, and Happy Dee Dee, this came from Melania, which is great. It seems like Barron, either he was vaping or friends, because it came down pretty promptly, and it came from apparently the son. So interesting to see, and I'm glad that they're taking precautions. I just think, where's the priority, and what are people going to do if they're already addicted? So I hope there's a program. Can somebody tell those housewives there are vegetables that need picking in Oxnard? Huh. I don't get it.
I missed it.
Like maybe the picking of like the apples?
Sometimes it's, maybe there's a, I don't know.
I don't get it. Tell me what that means. I don't
Do you watch the Housewives? Cool, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Which ones?
I like OC. I've always liked OC. I like New York a lot.
How many are there?
Like 7, Erica? How many housewives are there? Franchises? New York, Atlanta.
Potomac.
Yeah.
Or Beverly Hills.
Like 4 or 5?
Don't they have a Denver one?
You know, they were doing an Aspen. No, Aspen, yeah. I think there was a thought about that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they should do one in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
You stupid,
yes, that right?
Why don't they do one in Seattle? There's a lot of money up there.
In Seattle?
Yeah.
And they'd be cool people.
Google, Amazon. Yeah.
Where would you want the next housewife to be?
I would like to see one that's like not rich women.
Dude, I would kind of like.
There's a lot that aren't rich women.
I would like the Housewives of Montana.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be like. Welcome back to DBL. Time for Fifth Host, and we talk about what you're talking about. If you're trying to lose weight, a new study says taxing sugary snacks might be the solution. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Research from the UK's 2016 tax on soda suggests that by placing a 20% tax on sweets like cookies and chocolates and cakes would not only decrease the sale of these pound-packing treats, it'll also lower the amount of calories we consume. So DBL Nation, are you willing to pay a sugar tax to promote weight loss? Solution sounded weird coming out of a mouth.
Solution.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. Those cupcakes look bomb. Patricia from Facebook says, absolutely no sugar tax. What would be next? A salt tax? Patricia, I agree with you, mainly because I think that this is coming from a place of real privilege. For some people, it's not an option to say what they are and are not going to eat based on how much sugar it is. It's more of an option of having food at all. So when everybody is on the same page in terms of being able to provide some sustenance for themselves and their families, then perhaps we can have this conversation about what should be taxed more.
All right. Should I keep reading?
I think we're done here. Good to see you guys.
Millie from Facebook says, no way. Just make healthier food options more available. Taxing junk foods would just make the lower class families poorer. I agree, and I think you and Erica are in complete agreement. We have to do something about making healthy food not only an option, but a plausible option that all families have access to, not this thing that they get every once in a while. But right now, you go to Trader Joe's, some organic grapes are $11.
Yeah, right.
If you got 4 kids, 2 kids, can't do it. So
no, you're doing ramen, you know? I get that. Tammy from YouTube says, if the results from taxing soda in the UK have stats that prove this will help people lose weight, why not? Tammy, I agree with you, except that's a false equivalency. London and England, excuse me, is much, much smaller. And I think what we have here, as Erica was saying, is food deserts. And that just means places in which you can't get anything but a fast food place or a soda. And you're not about to get quinoa because it's not available. So it's a bit of a tone deaf bill, I believe. I do think that there's an epidemic with obesity, and I think we're paying for it in Medicaid. I do get that. But perhaps making healthier foods cheaper might be the better plan.
Yeah. And how about the government pretending like they care about us for real, and then they're just putting money in the pocket while they're taxing the...
Where's the money go?
Yeah,
See, that's
exactly.
what, is it community gardens in poorer places or no?
No, absolutely not. 100%. They just find another way to make you feel good about you giving them their money.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You.
Wow.
Schroeder 2020.
Yeah.
I'm running. Coming up on DBL, have you ever been turned on by a cartoon character? Oh, well, we'll tell you how many Americans have that fantasy, and reactions are mixed when a Real Housewife comes out with a brand new perfume. The shade is real, and so is my reading in Reality Roundup. We have one more day.
Standing Alone just wrote, we have the UK tax, sugar tax in the UK, and then wrote us saying Americans are just greedy. I do think Americans...
What Americans? Our government or Americans in general?
Well, that's a good question. So Standing Alone, you write us back, do you mean... mean the government, or do you mean people? Because there is true, there's a different way of eating in America than other places. Europe has a much more, they live to eat, we eat to live, and we kind of scarf it down, you know what I mean? So I hear your point, I just want to know more specifically what you're talking about. Also, we have heard, if anyone's watching in Cleveland, there were some technical issues with the Kelly Clarkson show, because there was a Cleveland doctor on, and that's why WKYC was bumped her to 3 p.m. So in case you were worried, Misty, Ellis Walker did due diligence and tweeted, so he got the answer. I didn't do anything, so it was amazing.
I wasn't really listening.
How much do you think of me that you really listen to?
What?
I was kidding. Welcome back to DBL. It's the part of the show where we obsess over our favorite reality TV moments. Earlier, I was joined by our own Sam Shocker and Tori Shulman for Reality Roundup.
First up on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Are you okay there, Tori? Okay, hang in there. Karen's long-awaited signature scent is here, and the reviews are in. Check it out.
Oh, it smells good. Oh, yes.
In my mind, I'm about a good 32, 35, tops 36 years old. But after I got sprayed down, I'm about 73, 74. I became a grandma.
My mom will love it.
Ooh, Erica, fill us in.
See, Giselle needs to quit because Giselle just started her own company and it's in cosmetics. And I think it's bad juju to talk about somebody else's startup and you're trying to do something for yourself as well.
Uplift, right?
You should be supportive.
Yes.
Plus, Wendy Williams was on Watch What Happens Live and she tried La Dame.
What'd she say?
And she said it's actually very light. So it can't be for old ladies because old ladies tend to have a stronger, heavier
You're right.
The
smell.
gardenias. Like that kind of a scent?
Right.
True.
Sure. Next up on the Real Housewives of Orange County, Vicki is back to her old antics. Throw shade, then deflect, on repeat. Enjoy.
Bronwyn, Boring Wyn, is going.
What'd you call her?
Somebody said her name was Boring Wyn.
No, you just said it.
No, I repeated something.
Oh, we have you.
Oh, don't. So what? So what? So what? So what?
Vicki can't help herself. Like, she loves to talk, and then she's like, what? That's what I heard.
Vicki is dirty. Erica, she's always been one to stir the pot and say things and then deflect, but I feel like this season it's crossed
People
the
are
line.
getting it. People are catching on.
Right. You can only play the same song so many times before people start to learn the lyrics.
Right.
You know? I mean, this woman has the habit, and they did, I love when they show the receipts because they did a whole like back thing. 5 different examples of her saying, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Man.
Girl, just own it.
Yeah.
Just own it. We know you shady boots. Just be shady into our faces. Shady boots.
And finally on MTV's The Challenge, things heat up when 2 players face off in a very physical loser goes home competition. Check it out.
All right, boys, get ready. Fire! Get up!
There, grab the ball and run.
Well, if you watched further, there's a scene in which they start bashing each other in the face.
What do you mean?
Instead of the ball. And you can just see these two don't like each other. It's Bear and Wes. And if you follow the challenge, just know that the Americans who are going to throw a UK person in threw their own American in.
Like
I
the
thought there'd be
gauntlet?
like a big moment here, but nothing.
Well, tell me this, though, Tori. Tell me this. What is it about this show that it always ends up in violence?
There's a lot of violence, and there's a lot of security guards on the show. There's a lot of drinking and nothing to do. And I think these people have pent-up adrenaline.
Aggression.
Yeah, well, I enjoy watching. It's fantastic.
Well, this has been Reality Roundup. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
There's a camera on it and you're not on it.
We just did a story about the sugar tax, and I just ate 3 Reese's cups in a row.
Dude, what's wrong?
The only reason I didn't have 4 is because I gave Sam the other.
Postmates. I'm postmating cupcakes.
This is not good.
Every once in a while, I just want some sugar.
I can't
All the time.
See, I can't look at photos of delicious treats and not have one.
I'm a cheese.
What am I, a martyr?
I'm a cheese like freak. I get like the string cheese, like my kids string cheese.
Yeah.
I always buy cheese when I go to the store, so that's like my snack.
Mine is salty. I like the chips.
See, I like like chocolate covered pretzels. I like the
You
sweet
like chocolate and the salty.
Yeah. Well, that's the you know. When you curb the drinking, the chocolate goes up because your body's trying to replace the sugar.
I didn't know that.
Alcohol breaks down in your body the sugar. That's why people that drink a lot are overweight. It just breaks down the sugar.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's all alcohol is.
See, mine like treat. I'll have like a coffee like when I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like my.
You would have a Dr. Pepper.
Okay,
remember?
if I got 25
like
mini cupcakes and I shared them with people.
Erica just goes all out. Like she
You're
comes
back.
in to Access show, like our late show, and she comes in with all these like gourmet treats. She brought chocolate covered strawberries from Godiva.
I'm so jealous of Access.
But
They have such a good
I
time.
told you, my youngest son, baby Ford, like
I wanna
when
be
he
an
wants
Access.
something, he'll like go to and get something for everybody. Like if he wants some like Welch's fruit snacks, he'll just get 4 packs. Like here you guys go. It's like no,
that's nice.
No, it's not. It's selfish. He just wants it for himself. He didn't care if you eat it.
Yeah, but it's still nice.
Yes, he's like he's
tricking you for his benefit. He's kind of like the government.
That's right.
He's really problem solving, actually.
Do you think that's the same issue as like what you're talking about the government pretending like they like they're doing good for you, but like with the seatbelt law?
Yeah, because they're making money off that. But now they don't care about the seatbelt because they make so much money off of DUIs. I heard a stat one time.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
Because we wouldn't want to do this without you.
So come on in and join the conversation. And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right to it.
So you end up going with the pink dress for that promo?
Yeah, it looked fantastic.
I liked it.
Right?
Right.
Wow.
I think, Jeff, are you taking shots at her dress now?
I was just trying to pick on her, but see, she just takes over and the show goes.
That's how
I'm excited. We have big things coming.
We got big things coming starting this Monday.
It's going to be good.
We're still here, Jeff.
We are still here. That's incredible.
I'm celebrating another year of employment, y'all.
I am too.
We are.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah. But all jokes aside, like getting into daytime is just tough. People already have what they watch. Just getting in these markets have been tough, but people show us love. So
absolutely.
We're gonna keep showing.
I don't know if we're allowed to say, I mean, I will say it. We're number 4 on Facebook and interactions out of the whole nation, out of every show out there.
That's amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
We are number 4.
That's our digital team.
Yeah. Thank you, digital team.
We love the digital team.
We're not in all the markets like these other shows.
That's
you know what I mean?
right.
We're slowly adding. I think we're adding 16 new markets.
16 new markets.
Coming up.
We're the little engine that could.
Yeah, we are.
We're just chugging along.
Yeah, we had a story, but I'd rather talk about ourselves.
What was the plot of the little engine that could? What was the plot of that?
That he didn't think he could make it up the hill, and there was like not enough gas, and he wasn't very fast.
Yeah,
Did you know it, or are you just making it up?
I think that's it.
And it was a blast.
And then that's it?
I think so, and they were like, you can do it, and he did.
I feel like that's made up.
Is that not what it was about?
Well, we needed to kill some time, and we did. We'll discuss it at the break.
Okay.
Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Demi Moore does something she hasn't done in almost 30 years. Why it's so liberating this time around. Then, it's a real-life case of Groundhog Day. The shocking story of a girl whose brain resets every 2 hours. And cartoon crushes. You won't believe how many Americans actually fantasize about animated characters. When DBL comes back.
Beauty Blasters, what's up? It's Jeray for the Slay. I've missed you guys so much. I know, y'all miss my face too. I know, the feeling's so mutual, guys. However, I'm back and it's time for some red light tips with your boy Jeray for the Slay. Now, today, it's summer and it's hot out, y'all. It's time to put down that full coverage foundation and pick up a tinted moisturizer. But you don't always have to go out and buy a brand new tinted moisturizer. Sometimes you can make one at home for yourself. So I went ahead and make a little tutorial here, or actually, I'll just show you guys, alrighty? So you're gonna take your full coverage foundation. This one's from Makeup Forever HD. You don't wanna use like a stick or anything like that. You simply wanna use something that's a liquid base and not something that's going to be extremely mattifying. So if you're working with like a oil control foundation, you might wanna go ahead and use something that's gonna just be full coverage for normal to dry skin. However, what you can do next, if you have that liquid foundation, is take a little bit of moisturizer. I'm just using Embryolisse. This guy's famous in the makeup artist community, so you guys might want to check it out too. And blend those foundations together. Now, you're going to get a much, much more lightweight consistency that's going to be beautiful for that summer glow without having to have that cakey finish in your skin. All you have to do afterwards is tap a little bit with your fingertips and blend all over that beautiful skin of yours. Now, you might want to do a little bit of powder if you're a little bit more on the oily side, like myself, because that tinted moisturizer will make you look a little extra glossy. And we all love a glow, but we don't like to look greasy, y'all, alrighty? Anyways, guys, I want you guys to try this out at home and let me know how it works for you. You can do this with a Revlon, with a Maybelline, whatever you may. Try it out with MAC too. It'll be looking real cute. And this is a great way, once again, to save some money, honey. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Write me at Jeray for the Slay on all social media platforms. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. We are live. Let's get started, guys. 56-year-old Demi Moore is stripping down for Harper's Bazaar magazine. She talks about a time when her mother tried to commit suicide. She says she had to dig the pills my mother had tried to swallow out of her mouth while my father held it open and told me what to do. Something very deep inside me shifted then, and it never shifted back. My childhood was over. And that's not all. She's talking about her memoir, Inside Out, comes out later this month. In it, she talks about the role she played in Hollywood as a woman fighting for pay equality. And she also goes in depth about her marriages to Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher. I mean, this is a very famous woman who stood the test of time in Hollywood. Kudos to her.
Hard to do.
Very hard to do. Very hard to do. But let me bring up this question. I don't want to sound like a chauvinist or anything. With all this going on, she's talking about being a feminist in Hollywood, all these other things. Do you think it's right for her to be nude on the cover? Is that, do you know where I'm coming from?
No, I do. I totally understand, and I think it's a very valid and fair
it's not
question.
chauvinistic at all.
I have always said on the show that I don't identify as a feminist until we have a true definition for what that means, because it's so across the spectrum. To me, feminism is about choice.
Yeah, me too.
And if that's a choice to be conservative or modest and cover up, or the choice to bear it all, it's your choice, and no one else should have to or be able to weigh in on it. I take issue with people who say, well, you can't be a feminist if you are appearing half naked on the cover of a magazine. That's the reason why I don't self-identify that way, because it's so polarizing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think, again, it's choice and autonomy, right? If she wants to be naked on a cover, that's her choice and her autonomy to do so. What we don't want as feminists, and I do consider myself a feminist, is for you to ogle me without my permission, and for you to take my body and use it the way you see it. This is Demi Moore's way of her seeing her own body and her own power. Now, I have a problem with her being so open about being who she is and bearing all, and then being super photoshopped on the cover. And maybe it's just because 2019 is incredibly transparent and I'm used to people like Demi Lovato showing off the cellulite. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way that she's bearing it all, but then making a very unrealistic image.
But you can make the argument Demi Lovato did one picture where she bared it all, unfiltered, and the other 95,000 pictures she's in are airbrushed, and and that's fine too. She's a pop star. She wants to sell records or get people to come and see whatever she's doing. So I don't know whether.
Is it fine if it's led to teen girls with all these unrealistic expectations? Like, is it really fine?
I mean, okay, but if we're going to do that, then we need to do that across the board.
Right.
And when you start to see ads in the grocery store for a banana, maybe there'll be some brown on it. Maybe they'll show hamburgers for Wendy's that have brown lettuce. I mean, do we want to see what it idealistically or what?
I think there's something. Here's the fundamental issue with your problem with what you're saying, Tori, is that once someone becomes a role model or some type of icon, then people want to project what their expectations of this person is onto them. Right. But the only way to get that type of success is to be the most authentically you that you can possibly be, because that's the reason why you're great. So when people want to start to put all of these controls on people, that's why it's so much resistance, because it's like, you weren't here a year ago when I was scratching my way up. You haven't been here since the ground floor. So to be here now and want to tell people what to do is just completely against.
But you don't think it's a mixed message?
No, I don't think it's a mixed message. I think that people have to be really true to who they are, because you're giving people a false sense of how you got there if you start to be what everybody wants you to be.
Okay, I hear that. It's sort of just, and this is just personally, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. You're so open, and yet you're very retouched.
Right. It's weird how we all kind of saw different things going on.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
there was a lot going on in that
That's
photo.
art.
That is art.
Very subjective.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. All right. Have you ever fantasized about a cartoon character?
Speaking
This is
of
what we
art.
do here. Turns out 1 in 4 people have maybe Jessica Rabbit or Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid come to mind. And a new study says people who fantasize about fictional characters are uncomfortable with intimacy. And that 1 in 6 people fantasize about sex with an alien. Before we get going,
You just ran over that.
who just makes up these numbers? Is it illegal to be like, I've never been questioned about if I want to have sex with an alien for a survey?
You're questioning the study.
Yeah, well, get out of here.
Anyone can say a
1 in
study.
6.
Yes.
I'm so sick of this.
I
1 in
know.
5. You just made that up. You didn't poll anybody. When was the last time you got polled about if you want to have sex with an alien?
I think our computers.
Get out of here. I'm so
Jeff,
sick
you'd
of
be
these
surprised at that
polls.
answer. No, I think
All right,
that.
now we'll talk about the story.
I think a lot of websites and stuff, they do get, I mean, we make jokes, but your information is out there, including the sites you visit and the sites you visit regularly. And there are stats. You can go to any porn publication.
Alien porn?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Get out of here.
Oh, no.
Alien porn.
Horse porn. There's a lot of weird things.
Wow.
There is.
Okay, yeah.
Tori,
No,
you took
people
it to a
dress up
different
as
place.
horses. I'm serious. There's a lot of different fetish, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed. It's different kinks to everyone, and it's all sex if it's consensual. I'm open to everything. I'm not saying I am.
But it's weird that, like,
I am.
but that kind of strikes the chord.
Tori, don't be embarrassed.
This is
about
third
it.
hour. We can talk about this. Like, Tori mentioned that, and we kind of acted like, oh, I can't believe it.
Right.
But then 50 Shades of Grey is out. That's bondage. That's BDSM. But because they're hot, it's fine. But then when you talk
jumping in a
about
horse
diaper
costume.
bondage, then that's bad.
We weren't shaming Tori. I was laughing
I was
at the fact that
startled
she
at-
said, I'm open to everything.
I didn't
was like,
mean
well,
like
you get it,
into
girl.
horses.
Do you, boo?
I didn't mean it like that.
ToriShowman.net.
Tori's into alien horses.
No, that's not true. I just mean sex is something that we think very certain lanes are okay. When really, if you want to have an open discussion, everything should be on the table because everyone.
I
has
think
different
everything
fetishes.
is on the table once people shut the door to their study.
Wow.
You have a study? What do you include board?
Whatever.
I don't agree.
Jeff's bedroom.
I don't
bathroom.
agree.
What?
I think going back to the story, the reason why people are so into the cartoons is because they have a thing with intimacy. They're unable to be intimate. So I don't think that people are closing the doors and having discussions. That's the reason why they're deferring to other things, because people are very uncomfortable putting their stuff on the table.
I would erase my cookies if I were you, Tori.
I didn't. I don't like horses. That's my reel right there.
All right, this story is interesting. Every morning,
That wasn't interesting?
We're going to take a turn here. And can't remember. So this teenager wakes up every morning and can't remember anything only after 2 hours. She accidentally got kicked in the head back on June 11th, but doctors don't know what went wrong. She says, I have a calendar on my door and I look and it's September and I'm like, whoa. So this isn't, I mean, I think of 50 First Dates right away when I see this story. Like, this almost sounds made up.
Yeah, so you have short-term memory and long-term memory, as you know very well. And sometimes if you damage one part of it, like short-term, you have to wake up every day and not know what's going on. The famous case study, HM, had no short-term memory after a surgical problem, and he had to fall in love with his wife every single morning. And he had to be introduced to his doctors every single morning. And he was a good case study for control with memory. So it sounds like something got messed up with that short-term memory. And my God, if her parents are there and they can't figure it out,
well,
I would be
It's sad because it's young girl.
Parents,
I think a lot of people are dealing with this, with a loved one that's going through dementia, and it goes after your grandma and grandpa, and sometimes it's early onset.
What a teenager.
We've had presidents that have had it. You know, it's a very sad thing, and it's something that we still are struggling with. So I think, unfortunately, even this is weird because she's a young woman with an injury, but I think a lot of people watching us right now are dealing with this with a loved one.
In one way or the other.
Yeah, and if you do have someone like that, try and put their favorite sound of music on. Apparently that gets them very quickly back to their childhood better than anything like talking. It's a great documentary called that, so you should look into it.
You know what gets me back? Scents. When I
Scents
smell
and
like a
sounds,
cologne,
absolutely.
I'm like, spring break, 89.
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting.
Is that cool water? Is it cool water?
Maybe, yeah,
maybe
Jacquard. Maybe something like that. Maybe a little Jacquard going on. Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Coming up on DBL, we've got an unbeatable price on this faux snake skin handbag. Perfect for fall. Don't miss our DBL deal blast. And Shawn Mendes and Kamiya Kibeho. That's a hard one. Turn up the heat on Instagram. But is their post just a social media fail? That's next.
I just wanted to read what someone just wrote. There's a ton of alien porn out there.
I saw that already.
Okay, Linda B. wrote in, Erica, I struggle with that discussion. As a feminist is as complicated as being a woman, and we can somehow work out a generic definition. I have this discussion often, and it's not that simple.
I love that.
It's a great point. If you remember, Beyonce put up feminist in big letters like 5 years ago, and someone wrote an article like that changed the word feminism, right? Because it used to be, in the 70s, we're burning our bras and we're being angry, and now you can kind of have a sexy feminism, right? So you're right, it changes, it evolves, it adapts. But I like the idea of being a feminist because I like the idea of going for equality.
But people
for
have
women.
different ideas of what it means. Like you said, it's a different definition.
Yeah, I think that at times, especially in this climate, it becomes so polarizing that it actually works against what it's supposed to be. So I'm not saying that anyone who proclaims themselves, you know, a feminist is wrong or I don't like them. I'm just simply saying that I struggle putting a label on myself, but to be honest, I don't put very many other labels on myself.
I'm just reading about labels in this book called Thanks for Feedback.
I want to do a whole thing on it.
It's fascinating. I can see a label, and if you don't question what that label is, it's only your interpretation of what that label is.
Well, it's also, it's very damaging because I wish we had more time. I want to talk about this, the whole thing, because if you say one off color, say you say something that's off color, racist is a big comment, homophobe is a big comment, white nationalist, a Nazi. If you say something wrong, you're a Nazi, so I'm considered the same person as people who killed Jewish people. You're putting me in that same category from a comment that I made.
And we do this now a lot.
Labels are very, very, very dangerous, and we throw them around everywhere.
And think about politicians, and I'm not, again, getting at Trump, but Lying Cruz, Crooked Hillary. Those are all labels because it sticks. It works. They're brands.
That's a different, but it's like, it's very, I mean.
It's very, very damaging.
You say one thing wrong, and you get labeled a transphobe or something, dude. Welcome back to DBL. Being a celebrity is not always a walk in the park, right, Al?
That's right. There it is. Tell me about it.
Sure, there's fame and fortune, but one slip up on social media and they may never live it down. Like Kristen Cavallari, for example, the Laguna Beach star, posted this photo yesterday with the caption, NYC for 24 hours. What a time to be here, always remember. Her 9/11 tribute rubbed people the wrong way, and Cavallari ended up firing her social media staffer because of the backlash. Rightfully so. I mean, that was not the best photo to mix with that headline.
Yeah, but she probably hired a young person, Erica, that wasn't alive during 9/11. So I'm just giving the other side. Maybe they were just like, oh, it's a day we should remember. But I think a 45-year-old and a 24-year-old internet, like Instagram guru would have handled that differently. What do you think?
That's a good point.
I think that you take a risk if you allow somebody else to take over your social media, but at the same time, people do this all the time.
You mean hire someone? Is that what you're saying?
No, they post things. I mean, look at what happened with like any tragedy.
The Chernobyl influencers.
Photos.
Yeah.
Well, no, Notre Dame. That was the big thing. Like, everybody posted their photos, and it's like, people want to make a connection with themselves. We're very selfish people.
Interesting.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Can't argue with What if she just said what if she did that and she's like, I fired my social media person?
So here's my thought. I didn't want to say anything, but I thought, is she just blaming someone for her mistake? But I don't want to go there. I'm just saying.
It's a good one if she did.
I thought about it. I was like, maybe she's just, maybe there is no social media.
How many other people did this and they just didn't get the big criticism that she
Because
did?
they're not celebrities like Chris Cavalieri and Al over here.
That's right.
I would say Al's not.
It's a lot of pressure on me every day, Tori.
I think there's a lot of pressure.
Wait until you see the line of people waiting for me when I go to my car. Some people would say they're out back smoking, but they're fans.
No, they're not. They're smoking.
All right, guys. Next, we have fellow pop stars Shawn Mendes and Kibeho. Nailed it. These two lovebirds are no strangers to the spotlight. Remember their performance at the Video Music Awards last night? Last month? See, I screwed that up. It was their lack of chemistry that made headlines so... Look at just watch. See them? And then we have this video. That's not sexy. And then we have a video of them trying to kiss. Let's watch that.
We saw, like, on Twitter and stuff, you guys saying stuff about the way we were kissing and how it looks weird, like we kiss like fish. We just want to show you how we really kiss.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
this is what happens when you don't have friends.
That's a fail.
When you don't have real friends to tell you that this isn't funny, this isn't cute, you're not owning it, you're not getting out in front of it. It just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they could have just not addressed it and it would have been over. But now we're talking about it on national TV because you tried to be like, oh, well, we're going to take control of this narrative, and you did, and you made it worse.
I think we're missing something really important. Can we pull up that video again?
We have to see it again, Erica? All right.
Yeah. So if you look behind them, there's a full bar.
Yeah.
Just drunk?
That would be a good explanation.
I feel like this is an ARI, an alcohol-related incident.
Now, a lot of people, and this is serious, think this is a made-up relationship for each of them. They made a deal and that they're together so that their music can do better, and this isn't real at all. So a lot of people think that's the theory, which is interesting. It's all made up for publicity.
See, now they're open. If they wouldn't have done that video, like Al said, it would have been over.
Right.
But now, every time I see each of them, I'm going to think of this video.
That's right. That's interesting.
Of them licking each other's face.
They branded themselves with the tongue wave.
Yeah, they just lost 4 fans. Now they're down to 5.6 million.
Yeah, that's
there we
true.
go.
I think they're
Take
okay.
that, guys. See what you did?
I think they're going to make it through.
Let that be a lesson to you. Fly over me in your private jet.
Coming up on DBL, we're saving you money on hot products, including compression socks that look good and feel good, too. Get holiday shopping done early in our DBL Deal Blast.
We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. Let's get started.
The people that we need to lead won't lead because they wouldn't stoop to the mudslinging that you would have to do to get elected.
Well, if we do nothing, expect everyone to go insane.
Straight people have never been stoned and tried to be killed for being straight.
I'm actually in shock watching that video.
There's two completely different narratives. I don't think we have enough information.
This is that social injustice that Colin Kaepernick took a knee for.
And if you want it to be a bad thing, you only want Trump to be wrong. And that's not good. That's how you get out of quicksand, Al.
Oh, good. I'll take that with me never.
You know what this panel needs is more cowl neck.
I've hurt myself. You could be rich and still humble like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Sorry.
Oh, there you are.
That's embarrassing.
I'm done. It was their child in school. And that's the reality. Like, my heart broke.
The only thing that really gave me joy in this life is when I see my kids and I can hug them.
Until recently, I felt like I was one of the only ones.
And they said, you're making this up to your mom?
Oh, I love that.
Big Jeff gets tired.
Okay.
Well, lifestyle expert Miss Denise Plant is in the house, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for DBL Deal Blast, where we've teamed up with MorningSave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. And I'm checking out these products that you brought here today, and I'm getting this festival vibe.
Yes,
it all can feel a little festival-y, starting with these compression socks, because if you're flying somewhere and you swell like I do, you're gonna need something like this.
And they're fun to travel with, and they're also, if you have problems sleeping at night, tingling in the legs, this will help. It's the 6-pack Extreme Fit XTF Copper Compression Socks. Now it's unisex knee-long socks. It improves circulation and it reduces swelling. I do honestly think they're so cute. Remember the knee highs when we were younger?
Yes.
I'm sorry, compression socks can be a little sexy now, ladies.
Yes, and that's important, especially for those of us who we like to be a little fashionable when we travel. How much are we talking?
Makes a difference. Normally as much as $90, but today only $20, savings up to 78% off.
Wait, $20 for all of these or just for the pair?
No, $20 for the 6-pack.
Okay, y'all do the math, but that math is good. Now, once you've landed to whatever city your festival's in, it's really important that you keep your valuables close to the body. So I love the crossbody bag for this. Yeah. And these are super stylish. Tell me more about them.
They're so cute.
They are cute.
They make me want to do the happy dance.
Yeah,
it's the Moto Luxadel 4-in-1 reversible crossbody bag. It has different pockets, so you can keep all your important things close by, like your cell phone, your credit cards, and lipstick. Just a girl, okay?
Exactly. Are these going to break the budget so there's nothing to actually put in the bag?
No. And there's one thing that I want to show you here if you get a close-up. Look, it has a little magnet when you open it up. Isn't that cute?
Wow.
So you think, it's pink, but bam, there's the pop-up.
That is amazing.
And then the other side has a different color, so I just wanted to show you that. So normally, as much as $70, I would pay that for one of these crossbody bags.
Me too.
But now, only $25, savings up to 64% off.
$25, and you're essentially getting 3 different bags in one, so you can coordinate the different colors with your different outfits.
Just a girl.
All right. Being just a girl, we get the earthly vibes and wanting to get back to nature and doing some muddy things with our beautiful faces. Okay, at the end of the night, when we're trying to take care of ourselves, what are we gonna do?
My kids walked in on me and they saw this mud mask on my face. They literally looked at me and went, Dad, she's finally lost it. And they look kind of funny, but it feels so good and it's great for your face. It's the 2-pack Earth Vibes Dead Sea Exfoliating Mud Mask. This, my friends, improves skin health thanks to Dead Sea mud, which contains a plethora of minerals. So it moisturizes, it heals, and it reverses age in the skin.
Well, I just have to say to your boys, you haven't lost it, you actually gained it because you found the fountain of youth, honey.
Aww.
How much is the fountain of youth costing us?
I love coming here. As much as $40 normally, which is totally worth it, but because we're at Deal Blast today, we are going to do it $15, savings up to 63% off.
$15. I'm telling you, you can't even go to like the cheapest place and get a mask done for that because they charge you out the wazoo, whatever the wazoo is. Okay, so we're at the festival. We have all of our essentials, and now we want to take some photos. I personally am so excited that this is back on Deal Blast.
Obsessed.
Because I use this all the time. Tell us more about it.
What do you take pictures with these lenses?
Because, so the lenses can go farther out,
yes,
really close in, but you don't have to move your phone in order to do that. And you know, like for selfies when you're like this,
yes,
and you can only get like 2.5 people in it, that takes care of it for you.
That was a test to see if you were really using the 5-piece lens kit.
Of course I'm using it. course.
You passed. It's the 2-pack Power to Go 5-in-1 Universal Lens Kit Bundle, which includes carrying case, and it's a 5-in-1 detachable lens. Normally, you would pay a high price for this.
Yeah, I know. There's so much you can do with your phones, but you need some professional equipment, and so I feel like that's going to be a professional price.
Normally as much as $100, but now $15 for a 2-pack. Savings up to 85% off today for Deal Blast.
$15 for a 2-pack, so now you can get one for you and your Instagram husband, okay? No more excuses, honey.
I didn't know we were talking about Instagram husbands today.
Yeah, well, we always talk about that because, you know, you're responsible for taking the photos. All right, so we have all of our essentials for the festival and at really great prices. Yep. Miss Denise Plant, thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
She's our lifestyle expert, and she hooks us up with all the products. So head over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Miss Denise Plant.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
God, I'm nervous. Okay. Hi, guys. I've been staring at you for 5 minutes. All right, here we go. I'm sorry to waste your time. Emma, Olivia, welcome to Daily Blast Live. First things first, let's talk dogs. Now, Olivia, you have 2 dogs, Sir Chance-a-Lot and Frankie. But Sir Chance-a-Lot has 35,000 followers. So do you have a game plan for a chance to overtake Selena Gomez's 152 million followers?
We were talking about this yesterday. Right, he's an influencer for sure. But he's also bringing attention to shelter dogs. Like, yes, that's with the Shelter Pet Project, because both Chance and Frankie are rescues. Also Stella's a rescue as well.
Yes, Stella.
And so we did this great campaign for the Humane Society and Maddie's Fund to get people to rescue from the shelter more. They went from the shelter in the streets to just billboards around the country and in Times Square. It's just the cutest thing.
Well, now onto the show, The Road.
Can I tell you a secret?
Hello? Someone is going to attack me and wipe my memory. If you're watching this, it's already too late.
I've noticed a trend, ladies, in Hollywood about action spy thrillers. All the main characters are turning out to be women lately. I think women make way better spies. We're more intuitive. Tell me what you guys think about women making better spies than the fellas.
Right before we shot The Rook, I had done another show where I played a CIA operative. And I had learned from all of my conversations with ex-CIA people that the women were, one, most likely the better snipers within the CIA, and they're just a better shot. And also they were just better because they could be more inconspicuous. They were more intuitive. They could understand both men and women so much better than just just their own sex.
I don't think this women having lead characters in these spy dramas is a trend. I think it's here to stay.
Emma, you are known for playing these gritty, little rough around the edges characters. Is your The Rook character the same, and do people have totally misconceived ideas about you because you play these characters so often?
My friends were like, when they met, they're like, I was thrown off because I just know her from Shameless.
Yeah,
and you were so different.
Right. My poor mother, she's like, I don't understand. You went to an all-girls Catholic boarding school.
Oh, Lord.
I'm like, it's acting.
It's much easier to play things that are farther from yourself.
Yeah, well, I used to say, I guess in America, I just look like a drug addict.
Yeah, there you go.
It's fine.
Well, real quick, Olivia, you play Psylocke in X-Men. You can move things with your mind. Your new character, Monica, is super strength. Real quick, who has the better power?
Psylocke. I mean, you can create anything with your mind.
It's true. Emma, Olivia, thank you so much for talking to us. The Rook premieres June 30th on Starz. Thanks again. It's been a blast.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
Walking in slow-mo.
It's a colorful panel.
Yeah.
Look like the Fanta girls.
Don't you wanna?
Yeah,
Fanta.
definitely. I like it.
Do you wanna read some comments?
I really wanna. This is actually from Linda B, and it's such a good discussion. Erica, I struggle with the discussion of what a feminist is. It's complicated as being a woman, and we can somehow work out a generic definition, but I have this discussion often, and it's not that simple. And that's, I think it's evolved, that word, from burning bras and anger to Beyonce.
We do need a definition of it, because everyone's different.
I feel that way, but that's why I struggle putting a label on myself, but I don't put most labels on myself.
Right,
so.
labels aren't great.
Well, laundry, if you're gonna wash.
Yeah, hand wash cold is helpful.
Oh my gosh, you are so left field out. You can come up with something.
Dry clean only.
Yeah, you don't care about dry clean only? I do.
Kick me labels
These
on the
colors
back.
will run.
I thought you were gonna do that on me.
No, I think.
Thank you,
Let's see you tomorrow.